What everyone in the pill city didn't expect was that many who wanted to keep asking EMO for pill concoction received the news that EMO was in solitary cultivation, apparently trying to break through to nascent soul state, tertiary stage. What everyone in the pill city didn't expect was that many who wanted to keep asking EMO for pill concoction received the news that EMO was in solitary cultivation, apparently trying to break through to nascent soul state, tertiary stage. He even invited all formation sex leader, Jiling, to set up a level 8 defense formation. It could be said that other than the Pill Association and the City Lord Estate, his small yard's defense formation was the highest level. Many people seem to have understood why EMO said that MOU City would only have spirit-weaving pill for sale after a year. So EMO was going to try break through to nascent soul state, tertiary stage. But with his current nascent soul state level 5 power, it was quite tough to break through to nascent soul state level 7 in 1 year. Hearing this news, Tianji was the most unhappy. The Infinity Sect didn't say anything about this anymore, but he was set on killing EMO and getting revenge for his disciple, Tian Alfing. At the Lightning Cloud Sect's place in the Pill City, a few elders above body condensation state and even the 2 truth realization state vice sect leaders were gathered. Due to EMO's status, some elders was hesitating on whether they had to kill EMO. This is no longer getting revenge for Alfing. Everyone knows that EMO killed Alfing. But if we give up revenge due to EMO's status, then we won't be able to stand tall in the South Peace State, much less call ourselves a 9-star sect, a white-faced cultivator said coldly. He was cauldron-filling state already. I agree to Elder Zhong's words, plus Lin Yibin and Su Tong are also following EMO. If we don't kill EMO, how do we assert our authority in the South Peace State? How do we have the face to call ourselves a 9-star sect? Another cauldron-filling state, Elder said. The vice sect leader Giano nodded. If the Lightning Cloud sect gave up on hunting EMO, it would damage their reputation greatly. This wasn't just a matter of getting revenge for Tian Alfing anymore. Infinity Sect, that bunch of turtles. EMO killed their number 1 core sect member Yuan Guanan, but now they've still said nothing. Elder Zhong suddenly said. Giano glanced at Elder Zhong and said calmly, if Elder Zhong thinks of the Infinity Sect like that, then you're greatly wrong. I'm sure that the Infinity Sect wants to kill EMO more than us, but they don't need to brag about it like us. Sect leader Jiang is right. The Infinity Sect's leader Yang Feiqing and the Truth Realization State elder He Lin are both very calculative people. No one knows that EMO killed Yuan Guanan yet, so of course they're not going to make a big commotion about it. The reason they don't want to kill EMO with us is because they don't want to offend the Pill City Lord and Jiling, another elder said. Elder Zhong sneered. So according to you, the Infinity Sect isn't being a turtle, they just don't dare to get revenge. Humph. Elder Zhong, they don't want to offend Pill City, not because they're scared. I'm sure that the Infinity Sect's leader wants to kill EMO more than us, but they don't have to do it overtly, Elder Luo rebuked. Seeing that Elder Zhong was still going to say something, Giano waved a hand. Elder Luo is right. We don't need to doubt their intention to kill EMO. Should we expose that EMO killed Yuan Guanan? This way the Infinity Sect can work with us. A body condensation state cultivator asked quietly. No need. Giano waved his hand. We only have to kill EMO. It's the same whichever one of us kills him. If we expose Infinity Sect, it would make EMO more careful instead. And we don't need to cause trouble at MOU City as discussed before. As long as EMO isn't dead, we can't touch his land. There's Yu Chi-Chao supporting him. We have to be careful. Plus, EMO chatted with Shan Bingfeng for a long time. The Clear Dream Mosque also has a great perception of EMO. It was as though the Infinity Sect really wasn't going to do anything to EMO who had left the Pill City already. But just as Giano predicted, the sect leader Yang Feiqing stared at a few elders with a bleak face. EMO killed their genius Yuan Guanan. But there was an elder saying that they couldn't find Yimo's trouble. What was this logic? A cauldron-filling state stood out and said, Yimo's built his fame. It's implausible to kill him overtly. The Lightning Cloud sect has to do this, but we don't. He has MOU City, and although we can't just attack MOU City, he will go back to MOU City eventually. We have two ways. One is we watch EMO, and we attack as soon as he returns to MOU City. He's a mere nascent soul state cultivator. Even if he has body condensation state bodyguards, it would be too easy to kill him. Yang Feiqing nodded. Feng Morong, keep talking. The cauldron-filling state cultivator continued. Second, EMO hasn't been in South Peace State for long, and neither has that Ning Qingxue been in ethereal immortal pond for long. I'm thinking they're from the same place. We just need to investigate if there are more people EMO is familiar with or close to, and do something from there. Yang Feiqing nodded. Great, this is a good idea. Elder Feng, I'll leave this with you, but don't disclose anything about EMO killing Yuan Guanan. Don't investigate that issue for now. EMO is good at stealth. It's not practical to watch him at the Pill City. Yes. Feng Morong saluted with his fists. I've sent people to investigate, and the results are here, but it's not passed up here yet. The other truth, realization state, immediately waved his hand. Bring it in now. Yes, ancestor Marshal Uncle He. The cauldron-filling state cultivator sent a message, and a moment later, a messenger flying sword appeared on his hand. He looked at it and immediately said, There are 4 girls with Ning Qingxue. Luo Susu and Tang Beiwei went to 9-star sect Black Ice sect. Yunzi and Luo Fei went to 7-star sect Sword Valley. Yang Feiqing frowned and suddenly said, Immediately prepare gifts for these 2 sects and propose to these 4 girls for our core sect member. Give Black Ice sect another cultivation spirit pill and a spirit range. As for Sword Valley, Marshal Uncle He, I'll have to rely on you. The elders took a few breaths in. The price the sect leader named was too high. The entire sect only had a middle-grade spirit range and 6 low-grade spirit ranges. Plus, there was the cultivation spirit pill. That was a heaven-grade level 9 pill. It was a pill needed by disaster transformation state to break through to truth realization state. 1 pill was worth an entire 7-star sect. Even a few Yuan Guanans weren't worth this price, much less one. Yet this price wasn't even for directly killing EMO. At this moment, EMO was a few 100,000 kilometers from the Pill City. Qingxue stayed in the Pill City for safety. Great Zhou Mountain wasn't too far, and it took EMO 3 days to arrive at the nearest town to the mountain, Zhenmang Town. EMO had 9 transformations on him now, and he turned into a bearded, middle-aged man. This was a place without a lot of spirit chi, and the highest-powered cultivator here was nascent soul state. After EMO came here, he found that the structures here didn't match the population. Many buildings were very luxurious and well-built, but there weren't a lot of people here. Most of them were chi-gathering and cauldron-filling state. There weren't much golden core state cultivators. In order to stay low profile, Yemo showed his power to be foundation, establishment state, tertiary stage. There was about tens of thousands km radius around the Great Zhou Mountain. It was extremely hard to find a spirit range here. Friend, are you here for the ancient ruin at the Great Zhou Mountain? A monkey-mouth foundation establishment state appeared before Yemo and asked. Yemo was shook. Did everyone know about the Great Zhou Mountain ruin? If that was the case, what was the point of him searching? In a corner, the Yemo did notice. An ordinary golden core state cultivator saw Yemo, and his face immediately lit up with joy. Then he turned away and left. There's an ancient ruin on the Great Zhou Mountain. Yemo asked after a while. There's an ancient ruin on the Great Zhou Mountain. Yemo asked after a while. The Monkey Mouth Foundation Establishment State cultivator was dazed for a moment and said uncertainly, "So, friend, you're not here for the ruin. Well, there's indeed a ruin in there." "Monkey Jen, you're scamming people again." A tall, handsome male cultivator walked up to EMO and saluted with his fists. "Friend, it's your first time at the Mang Mountain, right? Don't trust Monkey Jen. This guy's tricking you. How can there be so many ruins?" Monkey Jen saw this Foundation Establishment State cultivator, and his face immediately changed. He turned to leave without even saying anything to EMO. EMO studied this handsome male cultivator. He was also Foundation Establishment State, but was at the peak stage. He seemed cheerful and genuine. But EMO had the feeling that his words weren't as truthful as Monkey Jen. "This is your first time here at the Mang Mountain town, right? I'm Duan Itai. I've been here for some time. That guy you just saw is Monkey Jen. He scams foreign cultivators. You don't need to believe him, friend." Duan Itai smiled, seemingly very genuine. EMO saluted with his fists and asked, "Then may I ask Brother Duan if there really is an ancient ruin on the Great Zhou Mountain?" Duan Itai smiled. "Monkey Jen isn't completely lying to you about this. Everyone knows about the ancient ruin on the mountain, but that isn't the case now. It was 10 years ago, large amounts of ancient ruins were revealed. Many cultivators came to search them. More and more cultivators came, eventually forming a small market. Mang Mountain Town was built at that time." "In that case, then, how is Monkey Jen scamming?" EMO asked in confusion. Duan Itai shook his head. "It's because the ruin isn't real. 6 years ago, those people searching for the ruin eventually found a large lava pond. Almost all cultivators thought that was the entrance to the ruin, but in the end the lava pond exploded and none of the cultivators survived. There were said to be tens of thousands of casualties. Even now, you can still find some magic artifact shards at the outskirts of the lava pond. Some lucky cultivators might even get a golden core state master storage ring." EMO frowned, thinking that Xinjita Grandpa was also tricked into coming here and died to the lava pond. Duan Itai explained, "After the lava pond exploded, many masters came to check it out. There was even a truth realization state cultivator, but they didn't find anything. In the beginning, people came looking for storage rings, but as time went on, there were less and less people." So that was it. EMO finally realized why the town was built so well, but the population was so low. The spirit chi here was arid, and it really didn't seem like a place the Herb King's spirit range was at. EMO was sure that Duan Itai didn't lie to him about this, as he could ask other people at any time about this. Just when EMO wanted to leave, Duan Itai stopped him and said, "Although the ancient ruin is fake, there are quite some good things not far away from here. This isn't a place to talk. Please come with me." EMO was a nascent soul state level 5 cultivator and wasn't going to be afraid of Duan Itai, so he followed without question. Duan Itai was very happy with EMO's attitude. The two didn't go very far before coming to a luxurious, small building. There was a decent spirit gathering formation outside. Going inside, EMO realized that it was a spirit rest tower. Many cultivators were resting here and chatting. A few Foundation Establishment States were discussing about the Pill King tournament loudly. EMO and Duan Itai walked up slowly and listened. "Brother Hong, is that Pill Kingy really that strong?" A middle-aged man-female cultivator with a knife scar on her face asked upon hearing that skinny old man talk. The old man looked at the female cultivator in contempt and raised his voice. "He's not just strong. Just when everyone thought he was a level 7 spirit pill master and didn't have a rare flame, he beat all the Pill Kings in the first and second round and got first. On the 12 Pill King steps, he took out the rare flame, Purple Flower Fire, and fought his way up. No Pill King could compare with him, not even a half-immortal Pill King. How come I've heard that there was a Pill King called Ju Qian? He seems to be on par with that Pill Kingy. another cultivator said. The old man's face was very excited. Yeah, that Zhu Qian is also a tough guy. He acted as a level 9 spirit pill master, but was actually a level 6 pill king. He even took out Heaven Flame, 1 purple flare at the 10th pill king step. Many cultivators exclaimed hearing this. But at this time that level 7 pill king Yi Mo reached out his hand and also released a flame. Do you know what flame it is? The old man asked. What flame is it? A few cultivators subconsciously asked. Hee. Also a heaven flame called Mist Lotus Heartfire. Its color was deeper than the 1 purple flare. In the end, Pill King Yi concocted heaven grade level 7 pills with Mist Lotus Heartfire, but Zhou Qian failed. Brother Hong, how do you know it so well? Another cultivator asked. The old said proudly, because I saw the Pill King tournament. When I was close to Pill King Yi, it was only 10 meters. Suddenly, the knife-scarred female cultivator asked shakily, Brother Hong, did you say that Pill King Yi is Yemo? He's really Yemo? The old man said in contempt, he's called Yemo for sure. He changed his name to Luo Xiaoma and then admitted he was Yemo. He also has a city called Mou City. Why would I lie? There were many people who went to see the tournament. If you don't believe me, you can ask around. The female cultivator became very excited and said shakily, Big Brother Hong, can you give me a painting of Pill King Yi? I'll give you spirit stones. Yi Mo scanned that female cultivator with a spirit sense. He didn't think that an irrelevant Pill King would cause her to be that excited. Yi Mo watched her closely and realized that he had indeed never seen her before. He didn't know why she was so excited after hearing his name. But suddenly, Duan Yitai said to Yi Mo, Friend, we're here. He opened the room, and Yi Mo saw there were 2 cultivators there already, both foundation establishment state. One was actually a monk, the other of middle build, with short hair and black cultivator robes. Duan Yitai brought Yi Mo in and said, These 2 are Lu Xiao and Li Jilei. Then he said to the 2, The person who came with me is... Yi Mo saluted with his fists and said, I'm Ning Xiaoma, greetings. Duan Yitai waited for Yi Mo to sit down before saying, Since everyone knows each other now, I'll be straightforward. Brother Ning, there's a swamp in the outskirts of the great Zhou Mountain called Zhou River Swamp. Have you heard of it, Brother Ning? Yi Mo shook his head. Brotherly, you can tell him you found it. Duan Yitai said to that blue-robed, short-haired cultivator. Li Jilei nodded. Half a month ago, I went to Great Zhou Mountain with a few friends to look for magic artifact shards, but I smelled this aroma. I was sure that it was herb aroma. Just smelling it cleared my spirit. I feel it's at least a level 7 or above spirit herb. At the time, we were all very excited and charged to the source of the aroma. However, we found it to be inside the Zhou River Swamp. When we went inside, we startled a level 5 spirit beast. Before we did anything, the spirit beast was enraged and 2 of my friends died in the swamp. Only I survived. Then Li Jilei subconsciously glanced at Yi Mo and saw that he was listening intently, so he said with some excitement, I went back and invited a few more friends over, but I never smelled that aroma again. My friends thought I was lying to them, so they all left, but I stayed. After a few more hours, I smelled that aroma again, and it was different than the herb smell last time. This time, it only lasted about 8 minutes. At this moment, Duan Yitai intervened. After we heard what Brotherly said, we felt it's an ancient herb garden. It's very ancient and has many types of spirit herbs. Li Jilei nodded again. That's right, we went and checked a few days later and gathered that there would be herb aroma at midday only. Yi Mo suddenly asked, So you want me to go with you guys to find that spirit herb garden? Yes, Brother Ning, that level 5 spirit beast is strong, but it's only level 5 primary stage. We are all foundation establishment state level 9, and with this rune of mine, we can subdue it. Duan Yitai took out a level 6 ice shard rune. Yes, Brother Ning, that level 5 spirit beast is strong, but it's only level 5 primary stage. We are all foundation establishment state level 9, and with this rune of mine we can subdue it. Duan Itai took out a level 6 ice shard rune. Yi Mo nodded. With the sneak attack of a level 6 ice shard rune, it could indeed injure a level 5 primary stage beast. If they then attacked it together, it would be fine. But as a nascent soul state cultivator, all he needed was one slap to kill a level 5 beast. But Yi Mo didn't reject this. He didn't know where the Zhou River swamp was. And according to what Li Jilei said, it seemed that the area of the swamp was quite large. It might take a long time for him to find it himself. He might as well go with them. Seeing that Yi Mo agreed, Duan Itai and them were very happy and wanted to leave immediately. To Yi Mo, the faster the better. Mang Mountain Town wasn't far from the Great Zhou Mountain. The spirit chi was so arid here. How could there be high-level spirit herbs? So Yi Mo had great anticipations for the spirit herbs that Li Jilei spoke of. What Yi Mo didn't expect was that when he came out with Duan Itai and them, the scar-faced female cultivator had already left. She wasn't in his spirit sense range. Clearly, she had left the town. The swamp wasn't far from the town, but it wasn't close either. Yi Mo would only need 2 hours by himself, but following Duan Itai, it took him a day and a half before he got near there. It was an endless swamp. There were sometimes putrid smells. It was very hard to imagine that this place was an ancient spirit herb garden. When Yi Mo reached his spirit sense inside here, there was nothing. He found that his spirit sense only had about 200 kilometers range inside this swamp. His spirit sense was restricted. Only formations and some special regions could limit spirit sense. If things go well, we should be able to smell the herb aroma if we stand here at midday. Me and my friends walked 50 kilometers east from here before we met that level 5 spirit beast. Li Jilei pointed at the swamp and said, "This swamp has a powerful suction force. The deeper you go, the more powerful it is. If we go in together, then even if we have the ice pick rune, we're no match for that spirit beast," Duan Itai said. "That monk Lu," she said, "Brother Duan, you have a lot of tactics. Just tell us what to do." Duan Itai smiled and saluted with his fists. "In that case, I'll be straightforward. Inside is a 3-horned swamp crocodile. It's easily angered. I have a level 5 acceleration rune. We should send one of us who is fast and use the rune to enrage the spirit beast and draw it out. Once it's at the outskirts, the other 3 will ambush the crocodile." Then he said, as though in embarrassment, "I'm an earth-style cultivator. I'm very slow, otherwise I can do this job well. How about I go, although I'm with element, but I should be fine with Brother Duan's level 5 acceleration rune." Lu, she suddenly said. Li Jilei shook his head. "No, your build is too big. Even with the rune, it would be very hard for you." Yi Mo heard this and sneered. What did having a big figure have to do with acceleration rune? He was sure that it wasn't the first time these guys came here. They dragged him here for him to attract the spirit beast. Simply put, they were sending him to die, using a foundation establishment state cultivator to lure a level 5 spirit beast. This was suicide. Yi Mo was sure that even if he didn't agree, these 3 might have some other way. But Yi Mo never intended on working with these guys. Just when he wanted to go in alone, he smelled a faint herb aroma. "It's midday. Do you guys smell the herb aroma?" Li Jilei asked excitedly. Lu, she, and Duan Itai all nodded. This time Yi Mo didn't want to wait for these guys to play any tricks, so he said, "I'll go. My flying means are pretty decent." Then Yi Mo charged into the swamp without the acceleration rune. He knew the herb aroma only lasted 15 minutes. He didn't dare to waste time at all. Hearing that Yi Mo would go, the 3 all rejoiced, but before they could say anything, Yi Mo went in already. "Wait, the acceleration rune." Duan Itai said, but Yi Mo was already gone. "Brother Duan, what do we do?" "He didn't take the acceleration rune." Li Jile said disappointedly. Lu, she shook his head. This guy wants to die. Let's go back and find someone else. Duan Yitai sighed. This Ning Xiaoma is probably the best person for the job. He charged in without hesitation after sensing the herb aroma. He's clearly a greedy cultivator. Pity he didn't take our acceleration rune. Even if he dies, it won't benefit us at all. Then he thought for a moment and said, Let's wait here for a while. We might get something unexpected. Yi Mo didn't know that Duan Yitai did something to the acceleration rune, but even if he did, it was pointless. Yi Mo was a pill king. He had even seen the level 9 spirit herb 9 color lotus. But the herb aroma that floated in his nose was at least level 9 or above. Above level 9 was a mortal herb. Yi Mo didn't even dare to imagine what was there. Of course Yi Mo didn't have the mood to chat with these few foundation establishment state cultivator, so he charged in. Yi Mo walked less than 200 kilometers and saw the level 5 spirit beast. Clearly, what Duan Yitai said was completely wrong. This level 5 spirit beast was just an ordinary spirit beast in the swamp. It had nothing to do with the herb aroma. The only thing was that it was on the way to the herb aroma. Even if they killed this spirit beast, they wouldn't be able to see the herb garden. The spirit beast was level 5, but when it saw Yi Mo's momentum, it didn't even dare to move. Yi Mo didn't do anything to the beast and just charged over it, disappearing in the depth of the swamp. The deeper he went inside, the greater the suction force, so Yi Mo began to slow down. After another 500 kilometers, the herb aroma grew faint. Yi Mo estimated that the time was up, so he sped up. With a thud, a python that was 100 meters long shot out from the swamp and charged at Yi Mo, spitting a black water arrow at him. Clearly, Yi Mo passing over his terrain like nothing was here enraged it. Yi Mo was shook. He focused on flying and didn't notice this python. It was a level 6 peak stage swamp python. It was powerful, but not yet level 7, or Yi Mo would have to run. Without hesitation, Yi Mo released the solo octagonal cauldron. Yi Mo had finished spirit, controlling 3 levels of restriction, so it was much easier to use than before. Yi Mo even released Zisu. The octagonal cauldron spun rapidly above his head and formed countless cauldron images that blocked the water arrow. The python didn't seem to expect his enraged attack to be blocked so easily, but before it could make another move, Zisu hacked out. Like a purple firework, the purple sword rays swooped the python as they increased in number. The python began to panic and waved its tail like crazy. Powerful beast cultivation essence clashed with Yi Mo's purple sword rays. Moments later, the python had tens of scars after a few scales came off. The python was furious and hissed before shooting out countless dark water arrows. The water arrows carried sharp beast essence and a putrid smell. It was on par with Yi Mo's purple sword rays, but the octagonal cauldron was too powerful, and with Yi Mo's powerful cultivation essence and spirit sense, the water arrows only wrung the cauldron. The octagonal cauldron was indeed very powerful, but Yi Mo still felt a sliver of pressure. This swamp was very strange. That powerful suction force seemed to be everywhere. He had to defend against the suction force while fighting the python. Who knew what would happen if he got sucked in? The octagonal cauldron was indeed very powerful, but Yi Mo still felt a sliver of pressure. This swamp was very strange. That powerful suction force seemed to be everywhere. He had to defend against the suction force while fighting the python. Who knew what would happen if he got sucked in? Thud, 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 the dark water arrows clashed with the octagonal cauldron again. At the same time, Yi Mo used illusion cloud formation kill strike without hesitation. He didn't want to drag the fight out. He had a bad feeling. Yi Mo wanted to trap the python and then kill it. The python noticed that Yi Mo wasn't easy to deal with and turned to run after the second wave of water arrows failed. It couldn't even mind the purple sword rays and let the Su cut a 10-centimeter deep wound. Emo didn't chase it. This python ran away too fast. If it was slower and the illusion cloud formation kill strike fully formed, it wouldn't be able to get away. Plus, it wasn't easy for him to kill a level 6 peak stage python in this swamp. Emo stopped. After that fight, the aroma of the herb had completely disappeared. He didn't know where it came from at all. There was a boundless swamp ahead, and there was only the putrid smell of the swamp as well as that ever-increasing suction force. Wait, Song, are you sure that person is Emo? A hollow spirit state peak stage asked a golden core state middle stage not far away from the Mang Mountain town. The golden core state middle stage cultivator immediately replied, I don't dare to lie. Wanbei was sure that the big beard who went in the town is Emo. I've seen that Emo once. Although he wore a stealth mask, I'm sure that's him. Then where did he go? That hollow spirit state cultivator nodded with a calmer tone. He was very happy with the golden core state's answer. He discussed with a few Foundation establishment state cultivators in the Spirit Rest Tower for a long time before leaving town. They headed to the Zhou River Swamp. MHM, very well, you may leave. Then the hollow spirit state peak stage cultivator waved his hand and a fire engulfed Wei Kong Arg. Wei Tsong didn't get the lush reward he was expecting. He watched Emo, and now this was the recompense he got. Then another hollow spirit state middle stage cultivator asked strangely, Marshal Brother Jean, how do you know Wei Tsong can guess which direction Emo went? That hollow spirit state peak stage elder sneered. The Emo is cunning like a ghost. It's impossible to block him at the door of the Pill City. With his status, irrelevant people aren't allowed to stay near him. Luckily, before he took Xanjida as his disciple, he fended a few cultivators, and that Wei Tsong was one of them. I only managed to find Wei Tsong. The other few cultivators living in the yard were gone. When I found him, he only told me that he might know where Emo will be, but he didn't say that Emo would come to Great Zhou Mountain for sure. However, he probably knows something, and so he waited at the Great Zhou Mountain. I didn't expect him to actually succeed. The hollow spirit state middle stage elder was shocked. Even that works. Marshal Brother Jean nodded. Wei Tsong probably guessed that Emo would come to Great Zhou Mountain, but wasn't sure. I gave him 100k top-grade spirit stones and said if he found where Emo is, I would give him another Chao Huan pill. That's why he stayed here and reported to me as soon as he found Emo. Then the hollow spirit state elder said bleakly, no matter what he is doing here, I will suck out his soul and burn it. How dare he kill my disciple Chai Kong? If I, Jin Qibei, don't kill him, I have no face to stay in Earth Demon Sect. The hollow spirit state, middle stage, cultivator nodded. If he stays in the Pill City forever, there's nothing we can do, but since he came out, it's his fault. Let's go now, Marshal Brother Jean. Marshal Brother Jean nodded. He has 2 rare flames. If he falls in the hands of the Lightning Cloud sect, there wouldn't be anything left for us. Let's go. The 2 dashed out, and in less than 2 hours, they were near the Zhou River Swamp. At this moment, Li Jilei frowned. Brother Lu, Brother Duan, I think that Ningguai is dead. It's been 6 hours. I think we should go back first and find someone else. Duan Itai sighed. That's all we can do. I really wonder how that guy lived till today. He's an idiot. He's probably never seen something good, and his brain heated up as soon as he smelled the herb aroma. Is that Ning, due to big bearded man? A sudden voice appeared by Duan Itai's ear. The 3 turned back immediately and saw 2 people suddenly appear behind them. They couldn't tell their power level. Even an idiot would know that these 2 were far powerful than them. Duan Itai immediately bowed. That Ning Xiaoma is indeed a big beard. We've arranged to go look for spirit herbs here. But he charged into the swamp without saying anything. We've been waiting for him here, but he still hasn't come out. Which direction did he head to? That cultivator asked again. Even Duan Itai began to worry as this cultivator was expressionless. It was as though they were dead to him. Duanitai could only point respectfully to east. He went that way. Then the cultivators shot out 3 fireballs and burned the 3 to dust before they could even react. They were even more certain that the big beard was Yemo. His wife's last name was also Ning. Yemo was very confused right now. He had gone almost 1,000 kilometers into the swamp. Theoretically, there shouldn't be such an absurd spirit herb that could pass its aroma this far. Was it really an immortal herb? Should he stay here and search, or wait till tomorrow when the aroma comes again? If he stayed here, who knew what would happen? There was the powerful suction force and the putrid stench. Or he could go into the Golden Page world and wait there. Even though there were no cultivators here, Yemo didn't want to go into the Golden Page world so easily. That was his final card. If people knew about his Golden Page world, there wouldn't be a single place for him to stay. He wasn't Shujiu. He wasn't that powerful. He would only use the Golden Page world at the final moment. Suddenly, 2 powerful spirit senses scanned over. Hollow spirit state cultivator? Yemo was shocked, sweating. He immediately released Su and burned some essence blood as he dashed into the depths of the swamp. It clearly wasn't good that hollow spirit state cultivators came here. Regardless if they came for him, he didn't want to see them. After 200 more km, Yemo felt it was hard to go forward. The suction force made him unable to go faster. He felt that he had briefly escaped from the spirit sense behind. Without hesitation, Yemo went into the Golden Page world and sunk it into the swamp. He knew that if he kept running, he would be locked on by the hollow spirit state cultivator spirit sense again. He burned essence blood to escape outside their spirit sense range before. If he got locked onto again, he wouldn't be able to escape so easily again. Found him, he's clearly not a foundation establishment state to be able to come in here. It's Yemo for sure. Wei Tsong isn't that stupid after all, Marshall Brother Jean sneered. The other hollow spirit state cultivator nodded. Just when they wanted to accelerate to Yemo, they found that Yemo instantly accelerated and was nowhere to be found. The hollow spirit state, middle stage, was a little surprised at Yemo's speed. The hollow spirit state peak stage cultivator said calmly, "No need to be shocked, he just burned essence blood. He ran out of our spirit sense range temporarily, but it's no use. Doing this in the Zhou River swamp is suicide. If we go faster, we can find him in a few minutes." 15 minutes passed, and the 2 stopped. That hollow spirit state peak stage's face was very bad. He didn't expect Yemo to really get away. He got away. Does he have some escape secret technique or high-level rune? The other hollow spirit state cultivator's face was also really bad. Marshall Brother Jean shook his head. If he did, he wouldn't burn essence blood. He probably has a really advanced way of hiding. It's just like how he came out from the Pill City. When everyone thought he was in solitary cultivation, he actually came here. Yemo didn't dare to come out of the Golden Page world at all. He didn't even dare to throw out a surveillance formation. If he got caught by the 2 hollow spirit state cultivators, he would be dead for sure. Yemo didn't dare to come out of the Golden Page world at all. He didn't even dare to throw out a surveillance formation. If he got caught by the 2 hollow spirit state cultivators, he would be dead for sure. Thus, Yemo just started cultivation in the Golden Page world. Although the bitter bamboo had a spirit range to support it, its life force wasn't great, so Yemo didn't dare to cultivate next to it. But when Yemo saw the snow fox in the Golden Page world, he suddenly thought if he let the snow fox search for that herb, it might be effective. 3 days passed quickly. Yemo's power didn't increase much. His cultivation essence just became a little bit more refined, but he was still nascent soul state level 5. Yemo knew that if he continued cultivating like this for 3 years, he might still be unable to reach nascent soul state level 6, much less nascent soul state tertiary stage. The amount of spirit chi he needed was absurd. His cultivation essence and spirit sense were strong, but it was related to his need for spirit chi. There was no progress for these few days. Yemo didn't want to keep cultivating. He threw out a surveillance formation. But what he saw wasn't the dark swamp, but a pitch-black riverbed. This meant that with the suction of the swamp, the Golden Page world was no longer at the surface of the swamp. Yemo immediately came out of the Golden Page world and stood by the side of the riverbed. He couldn't see the sky. Clearly this was underground. He didn't expect there to such a huge riverbed and a world like this here. In the pitch-black cold river bed flew some putrid swamp mud. The Golden Page world was clearly brought here, meaning that the swamp wasn't static. Yemo let out the snow fox without hesitation. The fox smelled the riverbed and immediately ran towards the opposite direction. The direction the snow fox was heading seemed to get lower and lower. Yemo felt that he was moving to the heart of the earth. After following the snow fox for 4 hours, they passed the extremely long riverbed and ran down for 2 more hours before slowing down. Eventually, the snow fox stopped at a dark crevice. The crevice extended far away. Yemo's spirit sense couldn't scan the end of its length nor depth. It was as if it was endless. The broadest part of the crevice was only 10 centimeters wide, and the narrow parts were just a few centimeters. The snow fox stopped above the crevice and looked at Yemo frowned. "What do you mean? Do you want to go inside?" Even though he was a nascent soul state cultivator, telling him to suddenly go in this dark crevice that was only this wide made Yemo hesitate. Who knew if the crevice would suck him down endlessly? If it wasn't for the Golden Page world, Yemo was sure he wouldn't be alive while being sucked through the swamp. Even with the Golden Page world here, who knew where he would end up? However, the snow fox nodded its head firmly. Yemo didn't want to go in, but there obviously was no other way. So, he had no idea but to listen to the snow fox. Thinking about this, Yemo released Zisu and said, "Stand on my shoulders and I'll take you down." The snow fox did so without hesitation, and Yemo rode Zisu into the crevice. Yemo was prepared to go into the Golden Page world as soon as there was something wrong. Just as Yemo fell in, that powerful suction returned. The suction outside was nothing compared to this. Yemo immediately knew things weren't good. He couldn't resist such suction at all. Even a cauldron-filling state cultivator wouldn't be able to keep his speed at such suction. It was clearly impossible to fly back up. This snow fox clearly didn't know there was danger in here and just wanted to get him to come. If this crevice was deep enough, then even if there was water or something soft at the bottom, Yemo was sure that he would be dead for sure going down at this speed. Yemo didn't dare to think and brought Zisu and Snow Fox into the Golden Page world inside. Yemo saw extreme terror in the Snow Fox's eyes. Yemo stared at it unhappily and said, "If I didn't have this, we would have died because of you." Every 4 hours, Yemo threw out a surveillance formation disk. Until after almost a day, the Golden Page world finally stopped. Yemo brought the Snow Fox out again, but what he saw was a huge black mountain. It wasn't tall, but it spanned out a few kilometers. It looked like a black dragon from afar. Yemo was very disappointed. The space here was different than outside the crevice. This place looked like a few hundred square kilometers of area, but there was nothing else except the black mountain. Yemo walked a few steps and suddenly felt something wrong. He looked down and found it was all human bones below him. They were everywhere and had turned black, too. Was this an ancient battleground? Yemo kicked a bone and felt that these people must have been powerful masters when they were alive, or their bones wouldn't be around after so long. A storage ring appeared below him. Yemo subconsciously picked it up and found that the storage ring itself was cracked. The things inside spilled out, and they were all dust. The storage ring was broken, but Yemo knew that the storage ring belonged to a cultivator, at least cauldron-filling state or above. There were countless masters dead here. What was this place? Yemo didn't know if he could go out. If he couldn't, would he end up like the bones here? Yi Mo found tens of storage rings and countless almost broken magic artifact. None of them could be used. Yi Mo sighed. If these master storage rings were fine, then he would be wealthy. Yi Mo walked as he kicked. He was thinking, what if there was a storage ring that wasn't broken? If it did exist, would he get the belongings of an ancient cultivator? What Yi Mo didn't expect that there really was a clank under his foot. Yi Mo looked down and immediately saw it, a disc-like thing. It didn't seem to be broken. Yi Mo rejoiced. Clearly it wasn't an ordinary thing to not be broken. Yi Mo picked it up immediately. This thing probably fell out of a storage ring. The storage ring was broken, but not this. Yi Mo grabbed it and felt a cool sensation. Before he could check it, he felt goosebumps on his skin. It was extremely uncomfortable. Before Yi Mo could understand what was going on, he felt his head become very tired. There was a voice in the depth of his sea of consciousness telling him to leave. Hearing this voice, Yi Mo really wanted to go as far away as possible. But three-birth chant that was always running automatically woke him up. Possession! Yi Mo immediately realized that a soul was bound to the disc. Yi Mo was furious. How dare he try to possess him? Without hesitation, he used three-birth chant to the extreme, and an almost invisible soul appeared in his sea of consciousness. Get out! Yi Mo yelled, and the soul was immediately forced out of Yi Mo's sea of consciousness. What cultivation method is this? The soul was very shocked. That does not concern you. Yi Mo released Mist Lotus Heart Fire. Yi Mo was extremely furious. He wanted to burn this soul to dust. Yi Mo was very shocked. He didn't expect there to really be the Herb King's spirit range in the Great Joe Mountain, and in the depths of the earth at that. If he wasn't being hunted by two hollow spirit state cultivators, how could he find this place? He was sure that the aroma outside was not herb aroma, but this. No wonder the aroma could pass so far away. But Yi Mo wondered why the aroma only appeared during midday. We have to move this spirit range away as quickly as we can, or we might attract more people, Yi Mo said, and then began thinking of ways to move this into his golden page world. He didn't expect the news Xanjida's grandpa got was really correct. But even if her grandpa found this, he wouldn't be able to take it away. Ordinary storage rings couldn't hold it at all. Only his golden page world could hold it. Yi Mo threw out formation flags. The only way he could shift it into his golden page world was using the transmission formation. Yi Mo had past experience of collecting spirit ranges. So as he threw down the formation flags, a huge rumbling sounded. The spirit range moved, and as more formation flags were thrown down, the louder the rumbling sound got, until the entire spirit range was moved into his golden page world. The two hollow spirit states above the swamp suddenly stopped and looked very confused. The herb aroma is gone. The hollow spirit state, middle stage, dazed and said. Marshall Brother Jean frowned. We've been looking for Yi Mo these few days and have been able to smell that herb smell. It must be a high-level spirit herb. It's denser at midday. How could it be suddenly gone? Could it be due to that Yi Mo? The hollow spirit state, middle stage, cultivator, nodded seriously. I think it might be if only we kept the insects at the bank. They must be here for that ancient herb garden now. Now that the herb aroma is gone, could it be that Yi Mo found the herb garden and moved it all away? Marshall Brother Jean frowned for another moment before shaking his head. It shouldn't be just that. I feel that there's suddenly something missing from the swamp. Now that you say it, I really feel like that as well. It seems to be missing life force. The hollow spirit state, middle stage, cultivator nodded. Marshall Brother Jean nodded with certainty. That's right, it seems to be missing some life force. This swamp has become very ordinary, even a little dead. Marshall Brother Yao, let's leave here first. Even if Yi Mo wants to leave here, we won't be able to guard it. Martial brother Yao nodded. They had been searching for Yemo for a few days, but he was nowhere to be seen. It was best to inform the sect first. After Yemo brought the Herb King spirit range into the Golden Page world, he immediately went in with the Snow Fox. Yemo found in surprise and joy that the withered bitter bamboo was now vibrant again. It was on par with what it looked like on the World Mountain. Yemo found that the black color on the Herb King spirit range had completely fallen off like the bamboo, showing a crisp green color. It was probably the chi of the bitter bamboo forcefully removing the black color of the Herb King's spirit range. Spirit chi immediately filled up the Golden Page world. There was life force everywhere. Yemo knew his Golden Page world was incomplete, and it was good that spirit herbs didn't die here. It was very hard for them to grow, but with the Herb King's spirit range, it seemed all the spirit herbs regained life force and seemed very lush. Such a powerful Herb King spirit range. Yemo took a cold breath in. Was this a middle grade, top grade, or extreme grade spirit range? The Golden Page world was already this good before it had complete laws. If his Golden Page world formed world laws, wouldn't it be the best cultivation world? Yemo quickly found a place on the Herb King spirit range to start cultivation. As soon as he used the three-birth chant, he felt countless spirit chi rushing towards him. Yemo felt that every hair gland on his body was oozing with comfort. Huge spirit chi whirlpools appeared before his head, growing bigger and bigger as the bitter bamboo released more and more powerful chi. This was not ordinary spirit chi. It was countless times more royal than that. It was a spirit chi that could cleanse one's spirit. Yemo didn't have to worry about foundation at all. When Yemo woke up, he had already broken through to nascent soul state level 6. So powerful! Yemo exclaimed again. He didn't even eat soul essence pills. If he found the spirit marrow ground Shan Bingfeng spoke of, then with all he had, he would progress like crazy. Yemo got up. He got the Herb King's spirit range now, so he could leave, but immediately he began to frown. Where could he go? The suction force here was so powerful. He wasn't able to leave at all. Yemo got up. He got the Herb King's spirit range now, so he could leave, but immediately he began to frown. Where could he go? The suction force here was so powerful. He wasn't able to leave at all. Thinking about this, his head began to ache. Although he got the Herb King's spirit range, he couldn't stay here forever. Suddenly, Yemo looked at the formation disc he had thrown in. It didn't seem like a formation disc, but the soul said it was a formation disc. It was something that even the immortal realm didn't have. Yemo sneered. This clearly was bullshit. Since when did the cultivation realm have something that the immortal realm didn't have? But then Yemo calmed down. His Golden Page world and bitter bamboo might not be in the immortal realm. It said that there would only be one bitter bamboo. Since he got it, how could the immortal realm have it? Yemo wasn't sure if there would be small worlds like his Golden Page world. But according to the creator of the primordial chaos, Chant Meng Qian, this Golden Page world wasn't ordinary. The immortal realm might really not have it. However, these were special things. What was special about a formation disc? This was made by humans. Wait, Yemo suddenly remembered the soul's words. Don't burn me, I'll tell you what the formation disc is. It's something that even the immortal realm doesn't have. Time. Time what? Is it? Yemo's hand shook and almost dropped the formation disc. He thought of time. Was this a time formation disc? If it really was, then the immortal realm really might not have it. But is there really something like the time formation disc? Yemo began feeling excited. If it really was a time formation disc, then even if he couldn't use it, he would be enlightened about the field of time from it. His future would be unimaginable. He planned to go out originally, but now Yemo gave up on the thought, instead sitting down on the spirit range to study this formation disc. This was really different than the formation discs he usually made. Its formation theory and formation points completely toppled Yi Mo's knowledge. Yi Mo couldn't even tell what material it was made from. Yi Mo couldn't even recognize that this was a formation disk, much less tell what level it was. He gradually sunk his mind into it, as though seeing a new haven for formations. After a long while, Yi Mo sighed. He felt this formation disk was too complicated. He could only touch a very small part of it. There were 7 slots. Yi Mo thought about it and inserted 7 top-grade spirit stones into them, but there was no reaction. Yi Mo took it out and put 7 extreme grade spirit stones there. He only had 15 extreme grade spirit stones altogether. Yi Mo rejoiced to find that after they were put in the slots, the formation disk actually moved. It was really slow, but it was indeed moving. After 5 minutes, the 7 extreme grade spirit stones formed a veil that soon covered Yi Mo. Seeing this, Yi Mo's face immediately lit up. He was sure now that this formation was indeed a time formation disk, the very rare time acceleration formation disk amongst time formation disks. It was the number 1 cultivation tool. It was a legend amongst legends. Time acceleration formation disk. It might be a bluff to say that the immortal realm didn't have it, but this thing was indeed too precious. Yi Mo saw that the extreme grade spirit stone seems to be depleting rapidly inside, and immediately realized that ordinary people couldn't even afford to use it. Extreme grade spirit stones were probably the lowest grade power source it ran on. Although Yi Mo wanted to study this time formation disk immediately, he didn't want to waste the extreme grade spirit stones for nothing, so he quickly took out a soul essence pill and began cultivating after putting another 7 extreme grade spirit stones in the slots. Sitting next to the Herb King spirit range and bitter bamboo while eating soul essence pills and blue carrot pills, Yi Mo felt his cultivation level seemed to skyrocket. It didn't take him long to reach nascent soul state, level 6 peak. Then Yi Mo felt a powerful cultivation essence surge. He didn't dare to waste time at all. 14 extreme grade spirit stones were very valuable, but they might not even last the formation 2 months. Yi Mo started using the 3-birth chant like crazy and 8 pills to cultivate. All the spirit chi of the Herb King spirit range and other spirit range was activated. A huge spirit chi whirlpool formed above Yi Mo's head until the spirit chi around Yi Mo almost materialized. There were just constant gurgling sounds, as though his meridians were being expanded. Later, a 3-inch nascent soul sat above Yi Mo. Its hands held the 3-birth chant hand sign, attracting more and more spirit chi. The entire Golden Page world was filled with spirit chi. Even Snow Fox and Silver came to the side of the Herb King's spirit range, while Shadowless flew next to the bitter bamboo and stopped moving. Crack, crack, Yi Mo knew it was the first 7 extreme grade spirit stones cracking, even with his eyes closed. As Yi Mo ate the 3rd blue carrot pill, he felt his meridians seemed to have been enhanced again. More powerful cultivation essence flowed through his body. Yi Mo knew that he broke through to nascent soul state level 7. Yi Mo stopped cultivation. He felt he had been cultivating for nearly 3 months. The Herb King spirit range's effects were immeasurably higher than ordinary spirit stones and low-grade spirit ranges. But Yi Mo knew that other than the Herb King spirit range, the main reason he progressed so fast was the bitter bamboo. Without the bitter bamboo, he wouldn't be able to break through to nascent soul state level 7 in a few months, even with the Herb King's spirit range. These few months were under the acceleration of the time formation disk. Yi Mo didn't know how much time had elapsed in the outside world, but he didn't have any more extreme grade spirit stones, or he would be able to keep cultivating. Even without the time formation disk, Yi Mo was sure he would be able to reach nascent soul state peak stage in less than 2 years, cultivating next to the Herb King spirit range and the bitter bamboo, but he didn't have that much time. Qing Shue was waiting in the Pill City, and Luoying would come to find him as soon as she finished solitary cultivation. He had to go out first. Yi Mo thought if he wanted to save time on cultivation, he would need to utilize this time formation disk. Didn't that mean he would have to gather extreme grade spirit stones everywhere? Extreme grade spirit stones were too precious, and this time formation disk ate them like a pig. Where could he find that many? Yemo soon looked at the Herb King's spirit range below him. He couldn't put it into the formation disk slot, but he could set up direct spirit formation. Yemo started making formation flags, and in a few days' time he made tens of formation flags. He then put the formation disk on the Herb King's spirit range and started setting up spirit attraction formations around the formation disk. There were 7 slots, so he needed 7 spirit attraction formations. It was no pressure for him, but what he worried about was if the formation disk would activate. On the 5th day, Yemo finished setting up the formation and threw down the controlling flags. 7 beams of spirit chi shot into the 7 slots of the time formation disk. The next moment, the formation disk began to spin. At the start it was slow, but soon it spun faster and faster. Yemo rejoiced. He knew his method had succeeded. He didn't want to think much and began cultivation. Break tiger pill, soul essence pill, blue carrot pill. These didn't mean anything to Yemo now. While he devoured spirit chi like crazy, he didn't hesitate to use these pills either. Yemo had completely forgotten about time. He didn't even know his Herb King's spirit range had shrunk greatly. Yemo had completely forgotten about time. He didn't even know his Herb King's spirit range had shrunk greatly. If he saw that the Herb King's spirit range was getting smaller and smaller, he might stop immediately because, comparatively, the bitter bamboo was the basis for his cultivation. Without the Herb King's spirit range, the bitter bamboo would be dead. Cultivation was timeless, and even in the time formation disk it was like that too. Yemo felt his cultivation essence had reached a peak and couldn't increase anymore. He suddenly opened his eyes. He was nascent soul state level 9 peak stage. Yemo was shocked at how long had he been cultivating. Yemo was initially overjoyed, but soon he didn't have any of that feeling. He saw that his Herb King spirit range had shrunk by nearly 20%. Yemo was sure that although he needed a lot of spirit chi, he didn't need this much. It wouldn't even be 1% of the Herb King's spirit range, and that would be enough for him to reach nascent soul state peak stage. Without question, it was due to the time formation disk. It must be so much more effective to use the Herb King's spirit range to power the time formation disk, and the time difference ratio would be much higher, but he only had 1 Herb King spirit range. He quickly put away the spirit attraction formation and the time formation disk. If he continued like this, it won't be long before his Herb King spirit range completely disappeared. If that happened, how could his bitter bamboo survive? The Herb King spirit range was precious, but it was fine if it disappeared. But there must not be any dangers with the bitter bamboo. Yemo felt that he had spent at about 3 years in solitary cultivation, maybe a bit less. He wondered how much time had passed outside. Yemo used a few cleansing spells on himself and learned that he was about to face divine damnation. He had an ample amount of hollow meridian pills. As for where to face his divine damnation, he hadn't thought of it yet. He needed to find a way out first. He thought that he had been below the crevice for at least a few months, and those 2 hollow spirit state cultivators must be gone. When he came to the crevice again, he only saw a large, empty place. There was much less life force here due to the Herb King's spirit range having been taken. He subconsciously released Zisu and tried flying. The powerful suction force was still there. Yemo was sure that with his current power, he wouldn't be able to fly up. Reach hollow spirit state was the only thought in Yemo's head. He knew that he still wouldn't be able to fly up after reaching hollow spirit state. But hollow spirit state was more than 10 times stronger than nascent soul state. Yemo started setting up spirit gathering, lightning attraction, and lightning storage formations. If it wasn't for the last two formations, he would have died to that annihilation divine damnation. Who knew if it would come again? At this moment, there were countless cultivators outside the Zhou River swamp. Some cultivators even tried flying above it. They came here because they heard that another ancient ruin was discovered here. The news spread because Earth Demon Sect cultivators sneakily came around here, and they were exposed by low-level cultivators. As the news spread, more and more people knew, and the stories got crazier. It ended up with people finding low-grade cultivation artifacts and someone getting a heaven-grade cultivation method. Eventually, even some 7-star and 8-star sects people came. But only the Earth Demon Sect elders felt depressed. They came to the swamp first for Yemo, wanting to trap him there, and secondly for the ancient spirit herb garden. But now this was all exposed. But even so, they could only pretend they didn't know. Hunting Yemo was no small thing. As for the spirit herb garden, they didn't dare to mention it at all. Due to this, more and more cultivators came to the Zhou River swamp. Even the Mang Mountain town grew popular again. But the cultivators searched for a few months and found nothing besides some high-level swamp spirit beasts. As time went on, some cultivators were planning to leave. But at this time, the sky above the swamp suddenly darkened. Lightning bolts crackled in the sky. What's going on? All the cultivators stared at the sky in the depth of the swamp. I understand it's divine damnation. One cultivator yelled. Who would be having divine damnation inside the swamp? It's a spirit beast, right? 9 baby arm-sized lightning bolts cracked down into the swamp. Rumble, 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 the lightning crackled down into the earth. The loud thud could be felt this far away. The ground beneath them was shaking. Someone is having divine damnation beneath the earth. No, some spirit beast. It can't be a spirit beast. This divine damnation is too terrifying. Just the first bolt is this thick. How terrifying would the later ones be? Is someone going to reach truth realization state? Or is a spirit beast reaching level 10? The divine damnation made everyone's face change. The Earth Demon Sect's hollow spirit state elders' face changed. They thought it might be Emo at first, but seeing this power, they were sure it wasn't him. This divine damnation was too terrifying. What the cultivators didn't expect was that after the first wave, the second wave immediately followed without any gap. It clearly wanted to kill the person. The cultivators were terrified at this divine damnation, but no one left. Such a divine damnation was unseen before. They wanted to see what sort of person could bring down such terrifying divine damnation. This was Yemo's divine damnation, of course. After he ate the hollow meridian pill, he even picked a bitter bamboo leaf and put it in his mouth to prevent having the heart demon tribulation again. Emo relaxed a little upon seeing that the lightning bolts were still baby arm-sized. It was the same size as when he broke through to nascent soul state. He wasn't scared of this when he was golden core state peak stage, much less now. He released Zisu and hacked out with purple sword rays. Emo had experience now. When facing the divine damnation, he couldn't use illusion cloud or it would be less effective. Crack, crack, purple lightning exploded around Emo. Emo blocked 5 of the first wave with Zisu while the remaining 4 landed on Emo. With the 3-birth chant, he completely devoured them. Emo could feel his power increasing drastically. Emo felt this divine damnation had bolts of the same size, but it was much more powerful than the golden core state divine damnation. Even so, the first wave didn't faze him at all. Then the second and third wave fell. However, the second and third wave were a bit thicker than the first. Rumble, 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 crack. Emo hacked away nearly 10 bolts, but the rest still fell on him. Emo was injured a little, but he still devoured the remaining lightning. The 4th wave didn't fall and seemed to be in preparation. Emo didn't move. The spirit gathering formation formed by tens of millions of spirit stones was enough for him and formed a mist around him. Even so, he didn't take out the octagonal cauldron. He knew that the more lightning bolts he devoured, the better. If he blocked them with his octagonal cauldron, he wouldn't benefit as much. The sky grew even darker, and a few small lightning sparks cracked occasionally, as though signaling more powerful lightning. At the same time, the cultivators outside were all shocked. Even hollow spirit state cultivators were thinking that they wouldn't be able to block the first 3 waves. It must be a powerful being going through divine damnation. A few breaths later, the clustered lightning arcs cracked down. Before Yemo could react, tens of bolts that were twice as large as before fell on Yemo. A few breaths later, the clustered lightning arcs cracked down. Before Yemo could react, tens of bolts that were twice as large as before fell on Yemo. Yemo was scared shitless. Without hesitation, he released his octagonal cauldron and Zisu. But even so, more than 10 bolts fell on his body. There was one that was the size of a muscular man's arm. Yemo spat mouthfuls of blood. He was heavily injured already. There was not a single part of his body that was fine. This divine damnation was ambushing him. Yemo was sure that if he didn't have the octagonal cauldron or used it too late, he would be dead. This wave had 63 bolts of lightning. There were 7 waves of lightning altogether. Yemo used the 3-birth chant to devour the lightning bolts while using his octagonal cauldron, and Zisu to block the dense lightning arcs. However, there were too many bolts this time. Even the octagonal cauldron was rattling and shaky. The cauldron images dissipated. Yemo was beginning to lose his hold, but then the 3-birth chant showed its power once again. He devoured lightning more and more rapidly. There had been 10 waves already. He guessed that he would be dealing with 11 waves this time. Thus, he released formation flags and drew most of the lightning arcs into the lightning storage formation. Luckily, he had a lot of pills and the octagonal cauldron to help. Even though he was heavily injured, his foundation wasn't damaged. When he completely refined these lightning arcs, he would be mostly recovered. At the same time, Yemo felt that his power kept climbing until it reached a point where he was about to break through to hollow spirit state. With a rumble, the last 9 bolts came down. When Yemo saw they were size of a lower leg, he immediately knew he couldn't take them head on. Without hesitation, Yemo used Zisu to block 1 and directed 3 into the lightning storage formation. There were 2 blocked by the octagonal cauldron, and then the last 3 fell on his body. These lightning arcs were so much stronger than the previous ones. The land was shaking, but Yemo couldn't care. He just had to keep devouring lightning and increasing his power. Before Yemo could finish, large patches of rainbow clouds appeared. But different from before, they weren't rainbow-colored, but black. This was when Yemo needed spirit chi the most. The tens of millions of spirit stones didn't supply enough to him. As Yemo devoured the black spirit cloud, he felt his power rise continuously. After he completely devoured all of the black clouds, he roared and flew up. At the same time, his essence spirit formed. It was a faint shadow, but Yemo knew his strength skyrocketed. He was finally hollow spirit state. Just when he wanted to consolidate his power, he felt his lightning storage formation rustle. Not good. It was going to explode. Yemo went into the golden page world without hesitation. He knew that there was no time to devour the lightning inside. Despite his formation skills increasing, there were just too many lightning bolts stored there, and now it was going to explode. Rumble, just when Yemo went into the golden page world. The lightning storage formation completely exploded, forming a terrifying blast of air, and the space beneath the crack began to collapse. Yemo just threw a surveillance formation disc out, and it was blasted into nothing. When the cultivators saw 63 lightning bolts that were size of grown men's arm come down, they all took a cold breath in. Since when had they seen such a terrifying divine damnation? This wasn't divine damnation. It was trying to kill the cultivator. How did this cultivator offend the heavens? The cultivator would be dead for sure. However, another 9 bolts rained down. Clearly this was the last wave. The size was that of a small leg. It was the same size as a truth realization state's immortal ascension, divine damnation. It was the first time that all the cultivators here had seen such a terrifying divine damnation. That Qianbei actually survived the 63 bolts of lightning. My God, one cultivator exclaimed. Clearly, the last wave rained down because the cultivator survived the 63 bolts. Just looking at the last wave, people's head crawled with bugs. No one had the feeling of dealing with this divine damnation, but there were some people who believed the cultivator survived. After all, he survived the 63 cluttered bolts before. Another wave of rumbling sounded. Cultivators felt the earth beneath them shaking. Even after a long while, it didn't stop. After another while, the shaking was getting stronger and stronger. What's going on? Some cultivators asked, but no one could answer that question. Look at the middle of the swamp. There's an eddy, one cultivator pointed and screamed. It was only a few kilometers in distance. It really is an eddy. The eddy seemed to be getting bigger and bigger. Wait, I feel as though the earth below is crumbling. Finally, one cultivator realized the problem. Suddenly, the earth where some cultivators stood began to crumble. All the cultivators began to worry. Some high-powered ones released their magic artifacts and dashed up while some weaker cultivators were swept away. Those cultivators in the sky also felt an increasing suction force. This swamp is going to sink. One cultivator realized the terrifying truth. The next moment, the swamp seemed to flow into the earth with astounding force. The earth rumbled with terrifying sounds. The cultivators who released their flying magic artifacts headed away from the swamp, fearing that they would be swept away. With such power, even hollow spirit state cultivators would be dead for sure if swept down. The swamp spirit beasts also charged out to escape. The spirit beasts and cultivators couldn't care about each other as they focused on running. 3 days later, the swamp had completely disappeared. The boundless swamp just disappeared on its own. No one knew where all that mud went. A huge valley formed where the swamp had once stood. There were no spirit herbs here and very little spirit chi. 2 days later, Yemo just stayed in his golden page world without throwing out more surveillance formation discs. He was sure that no matter how big the explosion, it wouldn't affect his golden page world. So he started consolidating his hollow spirit state power. Next to the Herb King's spirit range and bitter bamboo, his power was quickly consolidated. Yemo found that after he became hollow spirit state, he devoured spirit chi with even more terrifying force, especially when he used the 3-birth chant. Yemo was surprised. Other people used spirit stones or a spirit gathering formation to cultivate, but his cultivation would only be somewhat effective if he used the Herb King's spirit range. Otherwise, if he used only spirit stones, he would never progress. It seemed he had to keep collecting spirit ranges from now on, since this Herb King spirit range wasn't enough for him. If he really used it, he might use it up within 3 to 5 years. Yemo sunk his mind into cultivation, and time passed rapidly. When Yemo completely consolidated his power and reached hollow spirit state, level 1 middle stage, another 2 months had passed. Yemo threw out a surveillance formation disc and sighed. Time flew by way too quickly in cultivation. What was shown to him was a water veil. The golden page world was at the bottom of the swamp. How is it in water now? What was shown to him was a water veil. The golden page world was at the bottom of the swamp. How is it in water now? Yemo didn't know what happened outside and came out of the golden page world. Immediately, a terrifying pressure hit him. Even with his hollow spirit state, level 1 power, he almost couldn't breathe. Without question, this place was very deep and the pressure was too great. At the same time, he didn't understand Even if his lightning storage formation exploded, he couldn't go from the bottom of the swamp to the bottom of a river. Yi-Mo just knew that he had to get out as quickly as possible and go to Pill City. Then he would ask Lu Wuhu why he helped him. If Lu Wuhu really needed him to help with something, he would try to lower the price and make Lu Wuhu be a bodyguard to get Susu and Bei Wei from the Black Ice sect. Yi-Mo started to speed up, charging towards the surface of the water. The floating force and his speed added together still took him 3 hours before he reached the surface. One could see how deep down he was. After charging out of the water surface, Yi-Mo gasped and breathed air in big mouthfuls. He had spent more than 3 years, including the time formation disk acceleration time underground. He didn't know how long it had been outside. Yi-Mo gasped and then began to look around. Where he came up from was a long river. The river was only tens of kilometers wide, yet his spirit sense couldn't even scan the length of the river. This was the first time Yi-Mo had seen a river this deep. There were many places in the Heartless Sea that weren't even as deep as this. Yi-Mo flew to the side of the river and used a few clearing water spells and changed a set of clothes before releasing his spirit sense. He wanted to see if there were people nearby so he could ask them how far he was from the Pill City and how long he had been gone for. As soon as Yi-Mo reached out with his spirit sense, he saw 3 beams. There was a cultivator at the front fleeing on his flying sword while 2 cultivators chased behind him. The running cultivator was nascent soul state level 4, while the 2 behind him were nascent soul state level 5 and level 9. Qianbei. The running cultivator couldn't tell Yi-Mo's power, so he could only call Qianbei. Yi-Mo saw that this cultivator was covered in blood and heavily injured. Before Yi-Mo said anything, the 2 nascent soul state cultivators came and saw that Yi-Mo didn't do anything. The nascent soul state level 9 saluted with his fists and said, "Friend, hello. Infinity Sex Qianbang thanks you for stopping this person for us." Yi-Mo was thinking, who was this cocky? He was a hollow spirit state cultivator, and yet a nascent soul state cultivator talked to him without calling him Qianbei. So it was an Infinity Sex sect member. If it was some other hollow spirit state cultivator, he might just laugh and turn away. But Yi-Mo was not some other hollow spirit state cultivator. Even if he didn't have conflict with Infinity Sect, who did this nascent soul state cultivator think he was helping him stop this guy? Yi-Mo ignored the nascent soul state level 9 and asked the nascent soul state level 4, "What's your name and why are you being hunted?" The nascent soul state level 4 was planning to self-destruct after Yi-Mo left. Even if he couldn't kill the 2, he would at least injure them. However, Yi-Mo asked who he was instead, so he saluted with his fists. "Qianbei, I'm a sect member of Sword Valley, Ganliang. Because the animals of Infinity Sect annihilated our Sword Valley and want to kill all of our sect members." Yi-Mo nodded. In the law of the jungle cultivation realm, this was very normal. But as a 9-star sect, the Infinity Sect was too domineering, annihilating whomever they liked. "What you said, Sword Valley?" Yi-Mo's face immediately changed. After meeting Ning Qingxue, he learned about Sword Valley. It was the sect Luo Fei and Yunzi were at. They were recommended to go there by Luo Susu's master. What right did Infinity Sect have to annihilate Sword Valley? Yi-Mo's fury rose. Yunzi was all right, but Luo Fei belonged to Luo Yu City. She had been helping run Luo Yu Pharmaceuticals. Seeing that Yi-Mo ignored him and instead began talking to the cultivator they were chasing as though he was going to help him, Qianbang's face immediately sunk. He could tell that Yi-Mo was only hollow spirit state primary stage. A hollow spirit state level 1 cultivator had no right to give him attitude. "Friend, this is between the Infinity Sect and Sword Valley. Please step aside, I need to take him away," Qianbang said unhappily. Although he was a nascent soul state cultivator, if he used the name of Infinity Sect, even ordinary body condensation state didn't dare to be rude. What right did Yi-Mo, this mere hollow spirit state level 1, have to mind other people's business. Plus, there were Infinity Sect, Hollow Spirit State, cultivators nearby. I want to mind this business. What are you going to do? Yimo's face sunk. This nascent soul state cultivator really thought he was something. The nascent soul state level 5 cultivator heard this and said nothing. He took out a communication bead and looked at Chen Bang. Chen Bang didn't expect there to be a hollow spirit state cultivator who disregarded the Infinity Sect. He didn't dare to let that nascent soul state level 5 send a message, because he knew that in this time it would be enough to kill them many times. Even if their sect got them revenge, they would be dead. The reason he didn't care much about Yimo was because the name Infinity Sect was too good to use. Gan Liang's eyes spewed fury as he glared at the two. Infinity Sect's truth, realization state, old man, Healingy acted like he was on top of everything and came to Sword Valley. He wanted our 2 female cultivator members, Luo Fei and Yunzi. Our sect leader rejected without asking any reason. But the old bastard, he injured our sect leader and killed many of our elders. Yimo's eyes were about to spew out frost. He'd be an idiot to not know by now that the Sword Valley was annihilated due to him. Gan Liang continued. Our sect leader said, our heads can be cut and our blood can flow, but our sword chi will never break. You want the Sword Valley to succumb? Piss off. Even if we're down to the last person, there will be one to get revenge from the Infinity Sect. Very well, Yimo spat coldly. He gave a pill to Gan Liang. You can kill that nascent soul state level 5 trash. I will kill this Chen Bang trash. Gan Liang took the pill dazedly. He was prepared to die, but this Chen Bei was actually willing to help him. This was forming a death conflict with the Infinity Sect. You dare act against our Infinity Sect? Chen Bang's eyes were wide open in shock. He didn't dare to believe this hollow spirit state, level 1, was this crazy. The nascent soul state level 5 heard this, and his face also changed. Without hesitation, he wanted to send a message, but a purple light flashed and the hand holding the communication bead was sliced off. Gan Liang laughed. Qian Bei, you underestimate me. Even if Qian Bei didn't cut one of his hands, I can kill a scum like him easily. Yi Mo ignored Gan Liang and stared at Chen Bang coldly. I even dared to kill Yuan Guanan, much less an insect like you. What? You killed Martial Brother Yuan. But Yimo's purple sword rays already swept over. He wanted to use his magic artifact to block it, but he found he was stuck. It was very hard to even move. After the purple sword rays swept over, blood flew across the sky. Yimo took the storage ring and just watched Gan Liang fight the nascent soul state, level 5. The reason he said he killed Yuan Guanan without hesitation was because he knew that the Infinity Sect knew this for sure. Otherwise, they wouldn't go to Sword Valley for Luo Fei and Yunzi. Gan Liang's magic artifact was just a flying sword, but Yi Mo felt his flying sword was like a long sword. As soon as he released it, it brought about waves of sword mist that made Gan Liang himself even look like a sword. Gan Liang's magic artifact was just a flying sword, but Yi Mo felt his flying sword was like a long sword. As soon as he released it, it brought about waves of sword mist that made Gan Liang himself even look like a sword. That Infinity Sect, nascent soul state, level 5 cultivator already had one arm cut off by Yi Mo. He didn't get time to reattach it before Gan Liang's flying sword swept over. Yi Mo didn't move. He just watched Gan Liang's sword waves roll towards that Infinity Sect, nascent soul state cultivator. From the outside, one could only see the white rays of sword light clashing with magic artifact, but Yi Mo could clear sense the sword ability and moves that Gan Liang used. Gan Liang just hacked out one sword, but this sword was like a wave that was followed by more waves behind it. The first wave was just a few strikes, but before that wave was crippled, the second wave came and there were more than 10 strikes. Yi Mo nodded. Sword Valley indeed deserved its name. One could tell how extraordinary it was just by looking at Gan Liang's sword technique. But Gan Liang's killing intent was intense. The nascent soul state level 5 cultivator was injured at the third sword wave again. He was trying to use that as the price to get away, but at this moment, Gan Liang's sword wave suddenly exploded. Blood mist rose, and that nascent soul state level 5 cultivator was hacked open just when he wanted to use an escape technique. If he didn't just think about running away, even if Gan Liang killed him, Gan Liang would be heavily injured. After killing that nascent soul state level 5, Gan Liang immediately walked up to Yemo and bowed. "Thank you for helping Qianbei." There was a look of respect on Gan Liang's face. Yemo waved his hand and said, "How are Luo Fei and Yunzi?" Gan Liang's face showed sadness. That infinity sect truth realization state old fart killed all of our body condensation state elders before leaving. But that was just the beginning of the slaughter. After he left, tens of cultivators below body condensation state from the infinity sect came. Our blood flowed like rivers. Martial's sister Luo Fei and Yunzi are gone. They're probably not in a good state. Suddenly, Gan Liang stopped and asked Yemo, "Qianbei knows Martial's sisters Luo Fei and Yunzi?" Yemo nodded. "Yes, I'm Yemo, the number 1 of the Pill City Pill King tournament. Pill King Yi." Gan Liang was dazed and murmured, "So that's it." "You know?" Yemo asked heavily. Gan Liang nodded. "Yes. Pill King Yi Qianbei. 7 months ago, you got first in the tournament. Our sect got news of it soon. Martial's sister Luo Fei and Yunzi told the sect leader that they knew Pill King Yi." The sect leader was very happy and was planning to take the 2 Martial sister to visit Pill King Yi. At this moment, Infinity Sect's truth realization state, Heling came to our sect and requested to take away Martial's sisters Luo Fei and Yunzi. Our sect leader rejected without hesitation. In his fury and embarrassment, he heavily injured our sect leader. The elders fought with him. Although our elders aren't scared of death, that Heling is already truth realization state. None of our elders lived. Yemo clenched his fists tightly. The Infinity Sect's people were too cocky. Just because they had great power, they did whatever they wanted. He didn't expect he had been in the Zhou River Swamp for more than 7 months. Our sect leader guessed that the Infinity Sect came for the 2 Martial sisters because of Qianbei. When I heard Qianbei say that you killed Yuan Guanan, I realized now. The Infinity Sect is so shameless. Gan Liang's fists were bleeding. "Sorry." Yemo was dejected. Clearly, the Sword Valley was destroyed because of him. But Yemo didn't understand. Even if the Infinity Sect wanted to harm him, it didn't explain why they wanted to take Luo Fei and Yunzi as well as annihilate Sword Valley. There must be some other reason. He had to go Sword Valley no matter what. Gan Liang's eyes were red. Our sect leader and our Sword Valley's people need to have sword chi and bones. Although this started due to Qianbei, the Infinity Sect would still annihilate us if we offended them for something else. So, if our sect wants to survive, we need to get stronger and stronger. Yemo said heavily, "Great, Brother Gan Liang, as long as you have this mentality. One day I will let you become the strongest swordsman." Then Yemo asked, "Is your sect leader still alive?" Gan Liang shook his head. "I don't know when our sect leader was heavily injured. He told us to run away in separate directions. As long as one of us is alive, we must get revenge. When I left, the sect leader escaped under the protection of 2 hollow spirit state martial uncles. I don't know how he is now. Okay, let's go to the Sword Valley now." Yemo released Zisu and flew towards the Sword Valley, taking Gan Liang with him. Sword Valley had always been a top-grade sect in the South P State. It used to be the number 1 or 2 ranked sect in the 9-star sects, but 5,000 years ago, an internal conflict occurred. In this conflict, the Sword Valley was divided into two sections. Eventually, the two sects started fighting, and countless masters died. After that battle, no one could afford to fight anymore. One sect left the Sword Valley and went missing. The other sect also lost too much battle power, and since then, Sword Valley had fallen. Even though the Sword Valley was counted as a 7-star sect, it was only due to their past glory. In fact, the strongest elder right now was only body condensation state peak stage. Even if a disaster transformation state cultivator came, he would be able to slaughter the entire Sword Valley. The current Sword Valley was dead silent. There was blood, bodies, and burnt structures everywhere. Even Yi Emo was furious seeing this. A few sword lights flashed, and a figure stumbled over. Martial Uncle Wang. Gan Liang saw this and immediately charged up, wanting to help him. That figure saw Gan Liang and spat a mouthful of blood. He just said, "Go to Tail Cliff," and died. Die. Before Gan Liang could react, another sword light came that was about to cut Gan Liang in half from the waist, but it was blocked by a purple ray. This was a hollow spirit state level 4 cultivator from Infinity Sect. With a clank, the purple ray scattered and that hollow spirit state cultivator was hacked at and sent flying, stopping more than 10 meters away. He looked at Yi Emo with shock. He was shocked because Yi Emo was only a hollow spirit state level 1 cultivator who had just reached hollow spirit state. He stayed here to see if there were any resources hidden, but he found a heavily injured hollow spirit state, primary stage, cultivator here. He had just killed him and met Yi Emo and Gan Liang. Yi Emo put down the dead cultivator and released his longsword. Yi Emo waved his hand. "No need for you to attack. I can easily kill trash like him." Yi Emo wasn't bluffing. It was just one clash, but he knew that his cultivation essence and spirit sense were both stronger than this cultivator. Gan Liang nodded. He didn't know what power level Yi Emo was at, but he couldn't do anything in a hollow spirit state level battle. That hollow spirit state cultivator was infuriated when he heard Yi Emo call him trash. He released an 8 trigram mirror. Yi Emo looked at the ancient chi emitting from it and knew it was an ancient artifact that was on par with a low-grade cultivation artifact. Before the cultivator could activate the mirror, Yi Emo hacked over multiple purple sword rays with Z, so using illusion cloud essence, binding strike. He wanted to know how long he could bind that cultivator with his current power level. Although the hollow spirit state didn't use his full power the first strike and could be said to be ambushed by Yi Emo, he still felt threatened. Although the hollow spirit state didn't use his full power the first strike and could be said to be ambushed by Yi Emo, he still felt threatened. So as soon as Yi Emo used his first strike, he raised his cultivation essence. Indeed, he felt his cultivation essence slow down as though being bound. The hollow spirit state, middle stage, immediately knew things weren't good. He forcefully released the 8 trigram mirror and broke free from cultivation essence, bind using his full might. As soon as the mirror was released, it expanded in the air and completely covered Yi Emo. Before Yi Emo could use more illusion cloud strikes, he felt his sea of consciousness hurt. Yi Emo immediately realized that this was a Spirit Sense attack magic artifact. Spirit Sense attack magic artifacts were much more powerful than ordinary magic artifacts. If Yi Emo didn't have a Spirit Sense cultivation method, even if his cultivation essence was stronger than it was now, he would suffer greatly to that mirror. Different than cultivator's own Spirit Sense attacks, the mirror didn't need to waste the cultivator's Spirit Sense. Even if the attack failed, it wouldn't affect the cultivator's spirit sense much. Yi Emo's pain was only for an instant. That hollow spirit state, cultivator broke free from the essence, binding strike and sneered. Yi Emo wasn't able to use another move after that strike, meaning that his 8 trigram mirror had succeeded. He didn't wait for Yi Emo to attack again and released his flying sword, wanting to kill Yi Emo with this strike. Yi Mo sneered. He used his purple eye soul sever when he knew this was a spirit sense attack magic artifact. These were level 3 purple eye soul sever spirit sense blades. It has always been him who attacked others with spirit sense, but today his sea of consciousness was attacked by someone else. That hollow spirit state didn't need to use his spirit sense to attack Yemo, but he had to use his spirit sense to control his 8 trigram mirror to attack Yemo. Yemo's spirit sense sword sliced over and was much stronger than his 8 trigram mirror. He just felt his sea of consciousness in huge pain. His 8 trigram mirror fell down uncontrollably. Yemo Su had sliced out with illusion cloud division strike, and then Yemo used his whirlpool strike right afterwards. That hollow spirit state cultivator just broke free from Yemo's spirit sense sword. His sea of consciousness was still in shambles when he saw countless purple sword rays sweep across. Soon he found that the purple sword rays multiplied rapidly. What sword technique was this? The hollow spirit state cultivator quickly took back his 8 trigram mirror, and it formed countless mirror shadows that tried to block the sword rays. The sword rays clashed with the mirror and made heavy thuds. The hollow spirit state sea of consciousness was already injured, and Yemo's purple sword rays seemed endless. He just blocked the first wave of attacks and spat out a mouthful of blood. He immediately wanted to take out a pill and eat it, but before he could, Yemo's whirlpool strike with division strike came. If his sea of consciousness wasn't injured, he could still use the 8 trigram mirror to block the whirlpool strikes, but now he was already struggling to control the 8 trigram mirror, much less block the endless flying whirlpool strikes. Such an absurd hollow spirit state, level 1 cultivator. This hollow spirit state, level 4 cultivator, was shocked. He had begun to want to run away. He was sure he was no match for Yemo. Even if he was hollow spirit state level 5 or level 6, he wouldn't be much stronger than this hollow spirit state level 1 cultivator. Although Yemo had absolute dominance, he was unsatisfied. He felt that despite his illusion cloud strikes having 5 strikes and each strike having unique attributes, he didn't have a move that could settle the score. Thus, it would always end up in a stalemate with his enemies. Although he didn't show his full power yet, he still wasn't happy. He needed an overwhelming strike that would scare the enemy shitless, but the illusion cloud couldn't do that right now. Just when this hollow spirit state cultivator wanted to escape, Yemo felt his force drop. Without hesitation, Yemo slashed out with Zisu. This time he held Zisu in his hands. He was just thinking about how to hack out a domineering strike, but after slicing the sword, he had some enlightenment. The next moment, he didn't even look at the hollow spirit state cultivator. He didn't care if he hit or missed him. He just closed his eyes and focused on hacking out with his full strength. Gan Liang saw that Yemo had the upper hand and wanted to check on his dead martial uncle, but Yemo's illusion cloud caught his eyes. He was very proud of his own wave sword technique, but after seeing Yemo's illusion cloud strikes, he felt he was just a beginner. Suddenly, he saw Yimazuri close his eyes and strike casually, but what bemused him was that the hollow spirit state cultivator actually paused for a moment. Then, Yemo's purple sword brought purple sword rays that completely covered him. What sword technique was this? Gan Liang stared dazedly at the purple kitchen knife Yemo held. He felt this strike was many times more powerful than all of Yemo's previous strikes combined. It gave him a feeling of unrelenting pursuit and invincibility. At the same time, he wanted to grasp that feeling, but he couldn't. Crack then, there was the sound of flesh flying. The Infinity Sex hollow spirit state cultivator and his 8 trigram mirror were sliced in half by Yemo. His essence spirit was also destroyed. Yemo closed his eyes and opened after a long while. There was joy in his eyes. He actually had sudden enlightenment, and in that last strike he mixed all the previous strikes together. This strike used up cultivation essence drastically, but it had this overwhelming force as though it would destroy everything in its path. Even if someone was a higher cultivation level than him, as long as his spirit sense and cultivation essence could keep up, this strike was unbeatable. Hua Mountain has one road I just sliced once. Yi Emo clutched Zisu and knew that his illusion cloud strikes were finally half completed now. This would be illusion cloud 6 strike, illusion cloud Hua Mountain strike. Yi Emo then took the hollow spirit state cultivator's storage ring and saw Ganliang looking at him with admiration. He then asked, "What did your martial uncle say?" Ganliang reacted and quickly said, "He told us to go to Tail Cliff. I think those in my sect who survived are there." "Okay, let's go there now. Pack away your martial uncle's things and bury him." Yi Emo nodded. At this moment, on an extreme grade flying ship, for cultivators surrounded a heavily injured middle-aged man on a mattress in melancholy. The middle-aged man smiled. "Our Sword Valley has experienced countless disasters over the years, but we still stood until today. As long as one sect member lives on, we can strike back again. So what if it's the 9-star Sect Infinity sect? It will be our Sword Valley sect member who annihilates them." The middle-aged man looked at the 4 cultivators and said, "My essence blood is destroyed now. There's nothing I can do. I hope that as long as any of you survive, you will not forget revenge. Our Sword Valley cultivators need to have sword chi and sword bones. We're not people who are scared of death. What happened to us today will be the consequence of the Infinity Sect." "Yes, sect leader," the 4 said without hesitation. The middle-aged man's eyes flashed with some sadness. "I owe the Sword Valley. I didn't bring it to prosperity." But then he looked at a young female sect member. "Luo Fei, you know Pilkingi. We went to Tail Cliff not to escape to the Heartless Sea, but to go to Pill City. Luo Fei, now I will order you to be the next sect leader. Take them from Tail Cliff to South P City, and then take the teleportation formation to Pill City and ask Pilkingi for protection. I haven't seen Pilkingi, but since he dares to kill Tian Aofing, he must be a hero. He won't reject this." "Huh." Luo Fei immediately dazed. She didn't expect the sect leader to pass the position to her. She was only a foundation establishment state level 9 cultivator. She wasn't even golden core state. The middle-aged man sighed. "Luo Fei, don't feel guilty. The Infinity Sect attacked us, not completely due to you and Yun Zi. It's because that old man wants a sword cultivation method from us. It's called One Strike. It's a supreme sword cultivation method." The middle-aged man sneered, but he made the wrong move. That sword cultivation method was lost 1,000 years ago. Otherwise, how could our Sword Valley fall to this extent? We're not even a 7-star sect. The middle-aged man sneered, but he made the wrong move. That sword cultivation method was lost 1,000 years ago. Otherwise, how could our Sword Valley fall to this extent? We're not even a 7-star sect. Luo Fei, if you pass the position of sect leader to another sect member in the future, remember that finding this lost sword cultivation method is the responsibility of all sect members. Yes, sect leader, Luo Fei will remember your words. Luo Fei knew of the sect leader's struggles. After she became sect leader, she wasn't going to cast aside Sword Valley for sure. He wanted her to seek protection from Yemo and in turn let the Sword Valley survive. Even if the sect leader didn't say anything, she wasn't going to cast aside the Sword Valley. Their annihilation was due to her. How could she just leave them? She had decided that even if she was to die, she was going to bring prosperity to the Sword Valley and get them revenge. The middle-aged man clearly knew what Luo Fei was thinking, and a sliver of approval flashed across his eyes. Then he closed his eyes. When the sect members looked at him again, they found that their sect leader had passed away. Just when Luo Fei wanted to say something, the oldest man from the Sword Valley said, "Sect leader, there's a flying ship behind chasing up here. It's probably the Infinity Sect. Luo Fei's face changed. They were facing a big enemy, but she realized that the highest level power in their group was only a hollow spirit state, primary stage, who was the old man. There was a martial sister younger than her, who was golden core state, level 3. The other martial brother was only golden core state, level 6. Martial Uncle Jia. Let's free the flying ship's restrictions first and think of another idea, Luo Fei said worriedly. 15 minutes later, Yimo had left Sword Valley thousands of kilometers behind. The direction they were heading to was the Tail Cliff. Yimo had never been to the Tail Cliff, but Gan Liang knew. The Tail Cliff was like Mo High City. It was near the Heartless Sea, but was on the east side of South Peace State. Tail Cliff was a place where solo cultivators gathered, so it was easier to escape there. Even if the Infinity Sect's people hunted them to there, they could escape into the Heartless Sea. The Heartless Sea was dangerous, but much better than getting annihilated. Of course, that was Gan Liang's idea, but Yimo didn't feel things were so. They could escape into the Heartless Sea from Tail Cliff, but if they went into the deep sea of the Heartless Sea, they would almost certainly be dead. Yimo went on Zisu, and even though he took Gan Liang with him, he was extremely fast. Half a day later, volatile cultivation essence waves appeared before them. Yimo saw that 2 ships were stopped ahead, and they seemed to be fighting. One ship seemed to be attacking the other. The other's shield was trying its best to defend with the formation restrictions. There was actually only one hollow spirit state cultivator attacking, and the other 2 cultivators were watching on the side. Yimo knew that it was only a matter of time before the restriction was broken, and this was just with one person attacking. If those people attacked together, then the flying ship restriction would have already been broken. It's our ship, the bastards from Infinity Sect, are attacking. Gan Liang immediately yelled. Yimo scanned the flying ship with a spirit sense, and indeed found the Sword Valley logo on one of them, but nothing on the other ship. He wondered how Gan Liang recognized it. "Come down first. Just stand guard for me," Yimo said. Yimo could tell that the 3 cultivators on the attacking ship were all hollow spirit state cultivators. There was one hollow spirit state tertiary stage. Yimo knew that regardless of whether there were more cultivators inside, just these 3 would be quite enough for him to handle. If they joined together, he might not be a match. If a body condensation state cultivator came out of the ship, it would be hard for him to even get away. When Yimo came up, the hollow spirit state cultivators also saw him. But Yimo didn't do anything, so neither did they. This was because Yimo was only hollow spirit state, level 1. A mere hollow spirit state, level 1 cultivator was clearly not enough to play tricks in front of them. Yimo didn't say anything. He just went up and started throwing down formation flags. Theoretically, if there was a body condensation state cultivator inside the attacking ship, he should have felt that power, but he didn't feel anything. "What are you doing?" The hollow spirit state, level 3 cultivator asked in anger. Yimo laid down formation flags as he spoke. "I want to kill you." "You're asking to die." The cultivator spat and released his magic artifact. Yimo was a mere hollow spirit state, level 1 cultivator facing against them 3 hollow spirit state cultivators. Before they attacked, Yimo hacked out with Zisu. Illusion Cloud Hua Mountain Strike. With this, purple shadows appeared all over the sky. The space seemed to condense. The hollow spirit state cultivator who was about to attack Yimo felt his cultivation essence pause. Before he could react, those heaven-covering purple sword rays swept over. He was shocked to find that after the purple sword rays, there was whirlpool sword chi. This sword chi seemed to have a will of its own and sealed off all his exits. In that brief moment of time, he felt that it was just one strike and just one long sword ray. This sword ray had an indomitable temperament, as though it would be relentless until it did what it wanted to do. This wasn't it. There seemed to be countless sparkles attached to the purple sword ray that could fly out at any moment. When that purple sword ray arrived before him, the hollow spirit state just realized that he had no way to block it, nor did he have the time to release his magic artifact. Splurge flesh and blood flew. This hollow spirit state, level 3, didn't even get to release his magic artifact, and was killed by Yemo's one strike. I overestimated you. Yemo sneered and threw out more formation flags. This was the first time Yemo used illusion, cloud, hua, mountain strike, other than that moment of enlightenment when he created this move. Still, he actually killed this hollow spirit state, level 3, in one strike. From this, it was obvious that illusion, cloud, hua, mountain strike was his strongest strike. However, he felt this was not worth it to be used on a cultivator about the same cultivation level as him. The other 2 hollow spirit state cultivators looked in surprise at Yemo. Now, they were certain that Yemo wasn't hollow spirit state, level 1 power. They would never believe that a hollow spirit state, level 1, could kill a hollow spirit state, level 3, with one strike so fast that they didn't have time to intervene. At the same time, the Sword Valley cultivators knew that even with just one of the enemies attacking their restriction, they wouldn't last long. The reason there was only one attacking was just to play around with them. Indeed, moments later, their restriction was broken. But what they didn't expect was that after their restriction was broken, the enemies didn't come in. The only hollow spirit state cultivator in Sword Valley had an extremely strange look on his face, as though he had seen something unfathomable. "What's wrong, Marshal Uncle Jia?" Luo Fei asked. Marshal Uncle Jia said, "There's one hollow spirit state, level 1 cultivator who was fighting a hollow spirit state, level 3 from Infinity Sect, but he killed that hollow spirit state, level 3 in one strike." Huh. Luo Fei was shook. She didn't know who would dare to fight with Infinity Sect and kill their hollow spirit state cultivator. But she immediately knew what this meant to them and said, "Marshal Uncle Jia, let's quickly go out and see." At this moment, the 2 hollow spirit states reacted, and that hollow spirit state tertiary stage yelled, "Who are you? How dare you kill our Infinity Sect member?" Yemo's spirit sense wasn't able to scan inside, but even until now, no one came out. This made him feel safer. If there were just these 2 hollow spirit state cultivators, he really wasn't afraid. Yemo's spirit sense wasn't able to scan inside, but even until now, no one came out. This made him feel safer. If there were just these 2 hollow spirit state cultivators, he really wasn't afraid. Yemo pulled down his face mask magic artifact and said coldly, "MOU City's Yemo out here for the specific purpose of killing Infinity Sect trash." Then, before they could reply, Su hacked out again. At the same time, he secretly let out Shadowless. There was 1 hollow spirit state level 4 and 1 hollow spirit state level 7. Ever since Shadowless evolved to pure gold, he had never used him in battle. "It's you." The hollow spirit state tertiary stage cultivator's eyes went red. He said no more and released an oval-shaped magic artifact. As a hollow spirit state cultivator, he knew some of the high-level things in the sect. Yuan Guanan was killed by this guy, and now that this guy was in front of him, how could he show mercy? This was the first time that Yemo saw a magic artifact like this. It was like a toilet. 2 different colored rays shot out from the 2 sides, 1 black and 1 red. Yemo's sword ray was swept by the 2 colors and dimmed down. Even Su almost flew out of his hand. Yemo was shook and hacked out a spirit sense sword. He took Su back, but wasn't able to keep using illusion, cloud, hua mountain strike. The hollow spirit state tertiary stage saw that his magic artifact didn't sweep away Yemo's purple kitchen knife and was a little surprised, but then he sneered, "To be able to clutch your shitty kitchen knife so tightly under my dual-color primordial bag, you have some capabilities. But I will let you no regret for daring to kill our Infinity sect member. Yi Mo didn't wait for this hollow spirit state tertiary stage to keep attacking and hacked out 13 strikes. The heavenly covering purple sword rays instantly surrounded the hollow spirit state, level 7. But he sneered in contempt. Little trick. However, Yi Mo's target wasn't him but the hollow spirit state, level 4. He knew that even if he could kill the hollow spirit state, level 7, it wouldn't be quick. So he had to kill that hollow spirit state, level 4 first. So Yi Mo used Illusion Cloud Division Strike, Exert will strike and Formation Kill Strike to trap the hollow spirit state, level 7, while he attacked the hollow spirit state, level 4. The hollow spirit state, level 4, released his magic artifact. It was also a sword, but seemed much more aesthetically pleasing than Yi Mo's kitchen knife. He was scared of Yi Mo's strike that he had used to kill the hollow spirit state, level 3. Yi Mo's illusion Cloud Hua Mountain strike already hacked over. He didn't see clearly the strike, but he knew the power of it very clearly. It was a strike that was unrelenting. He didn't have the dual-colored primordial bag, so he released his sword and a black square shield before Zi Su came to him. The strike gave him too much shock, and he didn't expect Yi Mo to be ambushing him while fighting his martial brother. The long sword was released and drew out a 10-meter-long white ray, as though trying to cut Zi Su and Yi Mo in half. Yi Mo knew this wasn't a sword technique, but magic arts. However, Yi Mo didn't stop at all. He hacked out Illusion Cloud Hua Mountain Strike and clashed with the long sword. An ear-screeching sound came, and purple rays splashed everywhere. The white ray disappeared, but Zi Su was stopped. Yi Mo grunted and didn't take back Zi Su. He hacked again. In his desperation, that cultivator used his black square shield. With a thud, Zi Su hacked into the shield, and that cultivator spat out a mouthful of blood. The dark color on the shield faded, and before Yi Mo's third strike came, he used a rune. As soon as the rune was thrown out, it exploded, discharging a lightning arc the size of a baby's arm towards Yi Mo. Yi Mo sneered and ignored the lightning arc. If it was some other rune, he might consider dodging, but for a lightning arc like that, he wouldn't even frown if there were 7 or 8. Even the smallest lightning arc in his divine damnation was stronger than this. This lightning arc was enough to even damage hollow spirit state, tertiary stage cultivators. But it was useless against him. Seeing that Yi Mo ignored his rune and kept attacking, the hollow spirit state level for cultivator's mouth was wide open in shock. He didn't understand why Yi Mo wanted to suicide. Even if he killed him, would he be able to deal with this rune? At this instant, Yi Mo felt some danger, but Yi Mo had no intentions of taking back his strike. He knew that the danger was coming not from the rune, but the hollow spirit state level 7 cultivator. He immediately released his octagonal cauldron. Even if he got injured, he would kill one first. Zi Su hacked onto the hollow spirit state level 4, and the hollow spirit state cultivator fell helplessly from the sky in a splash of blood. Yi Mo also instantly spat a few mouthfuls of blood. The octagonal cauldron made a huge buzzing sound. He knew this was the hollow spirit state, level 7, ambushing him. Yi Mo ate a pill and looked coldly at the furious hollow spirit state, level 7. He was by himself now. Although Yi Mo only set up a level 4 formation in a rush, he knew that it might actually be the key to turn the tides for him. It's City Lord Yi. Luo Fei saw Yi Mo and her eyes went red. Martial Brother Guan, you're fine? Great. The 2 Golden Core State disciples immediately rejoiced. Gan Liang greets Martial Uncle Jia, Martial Brother Miao, and Martial Sister. Is the sect leader all right? Gan Liang bowed to the old man and asked. Gan Liang thought Yi Mo was at least hollow spirit state peak stage to be able to kill that hollow spirit state level 3. So he wasn't worried. Martial Brother gone, sect leader he's gone. The current sect leader is Martial Sister Fei. Sect leader told us to listen to her. The youngest female disciple said dejectedly. Gan Liang's eyes turned red. He had entered Sword Valley at a young age. His character and sword were both taught by the sect leader. Martial Brother Gan, don't feel too bad. We need to bring Sword Valley into prosperity. What we need to do now is not make the sect leader disappointed. Luo Fei quickly comforted. Gan Liang immediately bowed. You're the sect leader now. You must not call me Martial Brother. Luo Fei nodded. Okay, just call me sect leader Martial Sister. Sect leader is too distant. Martial Brother Gan, did that powerful Qianbei come with you? Who is he? The youngest female Disciple asked. Gan Liang said respectfully, Sect leader Martial Sister knows this Qianbei. He's the level 7 Pill King from Pill City, the number 1 in the Pill King tournament, Yi Qianbei. After knowing that the Infinity Sect attacked us, he came with me. It's really Pill King Qianbei. The other Golden Core State level 6 youth also said in shock. Yi Mo didn't seem much older than them, but was already a Pill King and could instantly kill 2 Hollow Spirit State primary stage cultivators. So strong! The Hollow Spirit State Elder exclaimed. He could tell that Yi Mo was only Hollow Spirit State level 1, yet he not only killed a Hollow Spirit State level 3 and 4 instantly, but was fighting head-on with a Hollow Spirit State level 7. At this moment, the Hollow Spirit State level 7 released the dual-color primordial bag again, and the black and red rays fused together, charging at Yi Mo. At the same time, the Hollow Spirit State also charged at Yi Mo. He didn't use any magic artifact and just struck with his fist. It was just an ordinary punch, but Yi Mo felt the air flow around him grow chaotic. Instantly, that fist formed an almost 2-meter-long hammer. This wasn't just a fist or even an arm. This was a magic artifact, one that was on par with extreme-grade spirit artifacts. Yi Mo was shocked that a Hollow Spirit State cultivator could cultivate his own fist to such a terrifying extent. This wasn't just a fist or even an arm. This was a magic artifact, one that was on par with extreme-grade spirit artifacts. Yi Mo was shocked that a Hollow Spirit State cultivator could cultivate his own fist to such a terrifying extent. Although Yi Mo knew that he could stop this fist with his octagonal cauldron, he only controlled 3 layers of restrictions. Judging by the power of this fist, the concussion was enough to make him heavily injured again. In that instant, Yi Mo didn't think about how to stop this fist. Instead of thought of the Wu God chant. The Wu God chant was a body cultivation method. He robbed it from Pang Wei and gave it to Kai Ji. Then he never thought about this body cultivation method again. He thought that if he cultivated the Wu God chant and his body was powerful too, would he be able to make a punch like that? However, Yi Mo knew that was impractical. He wanted to call back Zi Su and block the fist with it, but in that instant his connection with Zi Su was lost. Before Yi Mo could think, that huge fist was before him. Yi Mo could only let the octagonal cauldron block it, but he was sent flying. Yi Mo spat blood while in the air and calmed down. He knew that this cultivator's power was on par with his. He just wanted to call back Zi Su now. However, Zi Su was being bound by the 2 rays that completely blocked off Yi Mo's spirit sense. The Hollow Spirit State cultivator seemed to know that Yi Mo wasn't able to call back Zi Su and separated 2 more rays from the bag while punching again. Before the 2 rays neared Yi Mo, they were severed by Yi Mo's spirit sense sword. But even so, Yi Mo felt his sea of consciousness shake. He felt threatened by the black and red rays. This time, Yi Mo didn't wait for him to punch out and used tens of spirit sense swords. This was the first time he used so many spirit sense strikes at once. His face immediately went pale. The red and black rays were dissipated by Yi Mo's spirit sense strike. Yi Mo waved his hand and Zi Su flew back into his hands. The cultivator was shocked to see this, and before he could react, he felt pain in his sea of consciousness. He was certain now that Yi Mo had a spirit sense cultivation method, and an offensive one too. Before the cultivator could use the bag again, he hacked out with Zisu. The cultivator didn't waste time and punched while using the primordial bag. Zisu and the fist clashed together. However, the power of the strike wasn't fully activated. With a crack, something seemed to have been broken, and that hollow spirit state cultivator spat blood like crazy, flying back with a bloody fist. Even though the illusion cloud Hua Mountain strike wasn't fully activated, it couldn't be blocked by a fist, even if the fist was on the level of an extreme grade spirit artifact. Yi Mo sneered and threw out a few formation flags. Rumble, 6 black lightning bolts were released. Although there were just 6 in the first wave, there seemed to be countless afterwards. Before the first wave even struck, the second wave arrived. The lightning arcs weren't ordinary ones. They were like tiny lightning swords that would cause injury immediately. The hollow spirit state didn't expect EMO, had lightning-style attacks, and was immediately struck by a few lightning arcs. You're a lightning element cultivator. This is Lightning Cloud Sex 11 lightning swords. The hollow spirit state said in shock. Yi Emo wasn't going to reply to this. He felt concerned about that bag and felt that this cultivator didn't even use its full power. If he did, Yi Emo would suffer greatly. So while the opponent was busy, Yi Emo used a spirit sense strike again to try to sever his control of the bag. But no matter what, the bag was still under his control. Yi Emo used spirit sense strikes repetitively, and his sea of consciousness grew very tired. Seeing that it didn't work, he stopped using spirit sense strikes and hacked out with Zisu again. The lightning sword was powerful, but it was impractical to think of killing the opponent with it. The hollow spirit state tertiary stage was very shocked. Yi Emo was a pill king and had so many offensive means, with each one being extremely powerful. If things went on like this, he wouldn't be able to gain the upper hand at all. His fist was still injured. He knew how powerful his fist was. It was an extreme grade spirit artifact. With his powerful cultivation essence, even if a body condensation state cultivator was struck by his full-powered punch, he would be blown to pieces. But it was stopped by this guy's kitchen knife. He wanted to run. As long as he sent out the news, Yi Emo wouldn't be able to get away. He didn't need to fight himself. Thinking about running, he immediately took back that primordial bag. However, Yi Emo already sent out Shadowless. How could Yi Emo not be able to tell this cultivator wanted to run away? Shadowless, who had been lurking, charged out without hesitation while Zisu hacked out again. The illusion cloud Hua Mountain strike was only enough to stop this cultivator for the blink of an eye, but that time was enough for Shadowless to ambush him. When he was ambushed by Shadowless, he immediately knew things weren't good. He enveloped Shadowless with his cultivation essence while punching again. His momentum weakened the moment he thought of running. Meanwhile, Yi Mo's Hua Mountain strike relied on momentum and temperament. The weaker the opponent's momentum was, the more unstoppable Hua Mountain strike was. Zisu clashed with his fist. His fist immediately split apart, and the entire arm was blown to nothing. Even so, the hollow spirit state cultivator calmly used blood escape. This hollow spirit state, level 1, was unimaginably powerful. He had never thought that a hollow spirit state, level 1, would be this powerful. He wasn't even sure how many more cards Yi Emo had to play. He just wanted to run now. As long as he got away, there would be more powerful people from his sect coming to kill Yi Emo. With a thud, the hollow spirit state crashed into Yi Mo's formation. At the same time, Shadowless and Zisu attacked again. You're also a formation great master. Even in his death, this hollow spirit state didn't dare to believe that this guy was a pill king that fought this crazily and was also a formation great master. Yi Emo panted while collecting his formation flags. He also took the primordial bag to study. This hollow spirit state level 7 was really hard to kill. He almost got away. If he had, Then the Infinity Sect would know he was here and would send masters to stop him. If it was body condensation state and above, there was no way for him to live. Yi-Mo went on the unmanned flying ship of the Infinity Sect and waved to Ganliang and them. "Put away that ship and come here." This was a low-grade cultivation artifact flying ship, while the Sword Valleys was just an extreme-grade spirit artifact. Luo Fei and the rest of the people watched in a daze as Yi-Mo fought that hollow spirit state, level 7 cultivator. They were all shocked by the endless amount of methods Yi-Mo had, especially the hollow spirit state, level 2 old man from Sword Valley. This was the first time he had seen a hollow spirit state, level 1 powerful to this extent. He even killed a hollow spirit state, level 7, and only paid the price of being injured. When Yi-Mo called them over, they finally reacted. The old man put away the flying ship and the sect leader's body and came to the low-grade cultivation artifact flying ship. "Luo Fei, sorry I brought this disaster to you." Yi-Mo saw that Luo Fei's eyes were red and she was unable to talk. "City Lord Yi." Luo Fei called out and didn't know what to say. Yi-Mo said guiltily, "Just call me Marshal Brother or Big Brother. We're old friends too. I brought this disaster upon you." Yi-Mo said guiltily, "Just call me Marshal Brother or Big Brother. We're old friends too. I brought this disaster upon you." He then paused and asked, "Where did Yunzi go, do you know?" Luo Fei wiped her eyes. The sect was in a mess, and the sect leader knew that we were no match for the Infinity Sect. So he told the sect members to scatter. Z went missing. Yi-Mo knew that in such a situation, there was no way to find out where Yunzi was. She might even have been killed. He didn't ask Luo Fei anymore. Regardless of whether or not she was killed, they were friends, and she had to face this calamity due to him. Now he was determined to annihilate the Infinity Sect. Luo Fei introduced a few more people to Yi-Mo. It was that hollow spirit state, level 2 old man, who was a forgery master of Sword Valley called Mi Jinjia. The golden core state, level 6 youth, was Miao Warren, and the golden core state, level 3 girl was Huang Lanlan. At the same time, he knew that Luo Fei was the current sect leader of Sword Valley. Yi-Mo knew what the previous sect leader's intention was in passing the sect leader to Luo Fei, but he had made up his mind to help re-establish the Sword Valley. Yi-Mo, simply spirit, controlled the flying ship and gave it to Mi Jinjia to control. He changed the destination to Pill City. After a conversation, the two were feeling sentimental, but Yi-Mo suddenly thought of something and his face changed drastically. "What is it, Big Brother Yi?" Luo Fei asked. She began to worry too, as her fate was joined together with Yi-Mo's. If something happened to him, she wouldn't be better off as well. Since the Infinity Sect dares to go to Sword Valley and find you too, then they would go to Black Ice Sect to find Beiwei and Susu, Yi-Mo said heavily. He subconsciously thought that since Black Ice Sect was a 9-star sect, ordinary people didn't dare to provoke them at all. But now he woke up after talking with Luo Fei for a while. Luo Fei realized this too and began to worry. She knew all too well what Sister Susu meant to Yi-Mo. What if something happened to her? But then she knew that there was no point in worrying and could only comfort. Sister Susu is at Black Ice Sect. No matter how cocky they are, they wouldn't dare to do what they did to Sword Valley to Black Ice Sect. Yi-Mo heard this and felt a little comforted, but then he said, "I'm going to see the Black Ice Sect. Susu and Beiwei don't have much support there. What if the Infinity Sect entices them with benefits or forces the Black Ice Sect? Who knows what could happen? I've heard that the Black Ice Sect has declined. They've only got one truth realization state cultivator and are just a little bit stronger than an 8-star sect." Ever since the Pill King tournament, the Black Ice Sect was nowhere to be seen, and they didn't send people to him for pill concoction. This was a staying extra low-key. Yi-Mo told Uncle Jia to change the direction to Black Ice Sect. After half a day, he heard a big laugh. Yi Mo was shaken. Who was this? That laugh was clearly very distant, but he heard it right next to his ear. A truth realization state cultivator. Yi Mo realized that it was at least a truth realization state cultivator who had laughed. Yi Mo broke out in a cold sweat. No matter how powerful he was only an insect to a truth realization state cultivator. Kid, I just went out for a spin, and you were gone. You have your wife at home that you don't stay with, and instead you're here looking for some fresh girls. You're indeed a playboy. However, Yi Mo breathed easy instead. An old man appeared before him. It was Earth Forgery God Lu Wu-Hu. Yi Mo wanted to laugh. He had looked for him a few times, and he wasn't there. Now he came to blame him. However, for a Qianbei master like him, Yi Mo had to pay his respects. Yi Mo greets Lu Qianbei. Yi Mo quickly got up and saluted with his fists. Haha, I never make losing deals. I know you're thinking about what you owe me. Don't worry, I'll let you pay me back today. Lu Wuhu said to Luo Fei, Girl, go out for a while first. You can have fun with him later. Luo Fei blushed and said respectfully, Qianbei, you're kidding. Yi Mo is like a brother to Wan Bei. Then she said, Wan Bei will go for now. If it was someone that even Yi Mo respected a lot, he must not be ordinary. Luo Fei quickly left. Lu Wuhu clearly didn't care much about what Luo Fei said. He looked at Yi Mo and said, You've offended a lot of people. I went out searching for you, but found a lot of bad people watching you. Yi Mo smiled calmly. Qianbei is right. Wan Bei did indeed offend some people. Qianbei came from Pill City, I wonder. Lu Wuhu waved his hand. You don't need to ask, your wife is fine. She's Golden Core State peak stage now. It seems you have quite a lot of good stuff too. You went out for a spin and reached Hollow Spirit State power now. I've been invited by the Black Ice sect. Are you planning to go there too? Did you get invited too? Yi Mo rejoiced. He just wanted to go to Black Ice sect, and now Lu Wuhu was here. How convenient. Lu Wuhu made him owe him clearly because he needed his help. Yi Mo would be an idiot not to ask him for him help now. Yi Mo laughed. Yes, Qianbei. I was planning to go to Black Ice sect, but I wasn't invited. Lu Wuhu said straightforwardly, Black Ice sect is having a marriage alliance with Infinity sect. They invited a lot of people, and I was invited too. But other than this, there's something else important. That's why I came. He then drank a sip of wine, gloatingly as though it was something honorable that he was invited, but Yi Mo wasn't. But Yi Mo wasn't in the mood. His heart sunk after hearing Lu Wuhu's words. Without a doubt, it was Susu or Beiwei, but it was more likely to be Susu. Seeing that Yi Mo didn't talk, Lu Wuhu said, What, is it because the girl for marriage is South Peace State's #1 beauty, so you're interested too? Don't worry, as long as you go you have an opportunity to. It was Susu indeed. Yi Mo wanted to fly to Black Ice sect immediately, but he had to keep his calm. He asked respectfully, Qianbei, where is my opportunity? Wow, you're really into that girl. Not bad, that girl is indeed very pretty. You do match with her. Then he suddenly stopped and laughed at Yi Mo. Do you know you owe me one? Usually Yi Mo would be speechless. This old man brought it up countless times, but now he really wasn't in the mood. Seeing that Yi Mo didn't seem to be too happy, Lu Wuhu changed the topic. We'll talk about the debt later. I'll help you again. Originally, that girl didn't agree, but although she agreed later, she said that there had to be a fighting tournament to win her. The person who gets #1 on the stage can be her husband. Your Hollow Spirit State now, you have some chance. Yi Mo frowned and suddenly said, That's impossible. Why is it impossible? Lu Wuhu asked strangely. That girl wouldn't agree to this way of picking a husband. There must be some inside story. Yi Mo's tone was agitated. Lu Woohoo glanced at Yemo in surprise and suddenly said, "Do you know that girl too? Last time she came to Pill City, I didn't see you two being very close. I just saw you very close to your Shwa wife. Susu came to Pill City last time." Yemo was dazed. Was it not Susu? Yemo looked at Lu Woohoo in confusion. "What is that girl's name from Black Ice Sect?" Lu Woohoo glared at Yemo. "When did I say the girl was from Black Ice Sect? She's from the Infinity Sect, called One Psy. The Infinity Sect and Black Ice Sect were going to have a marriage alliance, and that One Psy girl said she wanted a powerful husband. So the genius disciples in Black Ice Sect have to contest. If you want to compete too, I can get you a spot. Same as last time. You owe me one again." Yemo breathed easy. He thought it was Susu, but it was actually Winsai. He didn't care who Winsai married at all. But then, Yemo thought it must be related to Susu. Susu probably rejected them, so they took out a genius disciple to give away first, and then take Susu away. If that was the case, he had to go quickly. Yemo calmed down and quickly waved his hand. "Qianbei, don't try to scam me anymore. I can't even fall asleep due to owing you already, and now you want me to owe you more." Yemo calmed down and quickly waved his hand. "Qianbei, don't try to scam me anymore. I can't even fall asleep due to owing you already, and now you want me to owe you more." "Okay." Lu Woohoo smiled and suddenly popped up to Yemo. "If you're worrying about that debt, then how about I ask you something? If you reply, then you don't owe me anymore. How about it?" "That's simple." Yemo looked at Lu Woohoo in disbelief. Lu Woohoo was a Qianbei master, but from Jingingli, he knew that this guy didn't make losing deals. How could someone like him just ask one question? Lu Woohoo said casually, "Yeah, it's that simple." "Okay, then ask. I'll listen carefully. As long as I know, I'll answer." If he could pay Lu Woohoo back this easily, he would rather owe him a few favors. Lu Woohoo thought casually with a sigh. It's really hard to ask a casual question. Should I ask how old you are? Or... Yemo glared his eyes in disbelief. It couldn't be that simple of a question. He quickly said, "Then ask how old I am. I'll tell you Lu Woohoo suddenly stopped Yemo from talking and said, "I suddenly thought of a question. You're a pill king, so you must know a lot. I saw a herb at my friend's place last time. It looks like a bamboo, but my friend says it's not. I'll draw it to you. Do you know it?" Lu Woohoo took out a white blank paper and drew. A green bamboo plant appeared on the paper. Different than ordinary bamboo, the leaves were very big, many times bigger than ordinary bamboo leaves. The leaf shape was also crescent-shaped. Also, the leaves started appearing at the root area. Yemo immediately realized this was the bitter bamboo. This meant that Lu Woohoo knew he had the bitter bamboo. But then Yemo thought, this is impossible. If he knew that he had bitter bamboo, then he wouldn't need to act like that. Clearly he felt he didn't know the bitter bamboo. That's why he drew it. Plus, his bitter bamboo was in his golden page world. No matter how powerful Lu Woohoo, he wouldn't be able to reach his spirit sense into his golden page world. But why did Lu Woohoo ask this question? Seeing Yemo stare at it and not speak, Lu Woohoo asked worriedly, "Do you know this bamboo? Or have you seen it?" Hearing this, Yemo realized that Lu Woohoo was sure he had seen the bitter bamboo and perhaps he had bitter bamboo chi on him. That's why he wanted to know the location of the bitter bamboo through him. The bitter bamboo wasn't just an extreme grade spirit item, but also an utmost highest forgery material. It was no wonder that Lu Woohoo could feel the bitter bamboo chi. Yemo looked at it for a while and shook his head. "I haven't seen this bamboo. It's very strange. It's like bamboo, but not really." "That's impossible. You must have seen it." Lu Woohoo called out immediately. Yemo shook his head again. Lu Qianbei, although I haven't seen this bamboo, but I've seen this bamboo leaf. Really? Lu Wuhu immediately rejoiced and looked at Yi Mo fervently. Tell me, where is it? Yi Mo realized that Lu Wuhu knew he had seen the bitter bamboo from the qi on him. Bitter bamboo was too important to Yi Mo, even if Lu Wuhu tried to rob it from him. He wasn't going to give it. But this Lu Wuhu really knew how to resist, and only asked now. Yi Mo took out the bitter bamboo leaf he used for his divine damnation and said, "It's on me, have a look." Lu Wuhu grabbed it and said very excitedly, "It's really bitter bamboo leaf, it really is." He just felt there seemed to bitter bamboo qi on Yi Mo, but he wasn't too sure. He didn't expect it to be real. He looked at the leaf again and again. His hands were shaking with excitement. "Wait," Lu Wuhu suddenly said. "There's no way you can take off the bitter bamboo leaf unless it has a master. But how is that possible?" Lu Wuhu then studied Yi Mo from head to toe again. Yi Mo was shook. He must not let this old guy see something. He suddenly thought, was he able to dig out the bitter bamboo because it approved of him as master? Yi Mo said, "I picked up this leaf from the Truthfall Palace Forbidden Grounds. There was a big black mountain, and it was covered with black lightning. Ordinary people can't go up at all. I just walked past the bottom of the mountain. It was still very far from the actual mountain, and I picked up the leaf there. I felt this leaf was very nice, so I picked it up. Ever since then I've been cultivating while holding this leaf, and it feels very good. So this is the bitter bamboo leaf?" Lu Wuhu heard this and murmured, "It's really in the Truthfall Palace Forbidden Grounds. There really is World Mountain there. That means the bitter bamboo is also there." Lu Wuhu looked at Yi Mo and said, "It's natural that you don't know this. This is an ancient thing. Although it has some benefits for your cultivation, it's limited. The main purpose is for forgery. But then again, your luck is insane. You can even encounter the bitter bamboo leaf. I've been to the Truthfall Palace a few times. How come I haven't met the bitter bamboo?" 30 years later. Yi Mo was speechless. This old guy dared to trick him by saying that the bitter bamboo had no use for cultivation. But clearly, this guy would find someone to go look for it 30 years later. Unfortunately, the bitter bamboo was already sitting in the Golden Page world. Even if he could get it, could he afford to raise it? Can I make a deal with you? This bitter bamboo leaf is a good forgery item, and I'm a forgery grandmaster. But about? Yi Mo looked at him in shock. "Qianbei, you're not trying to rob me of this cultivation magical artifact, are you? I've already paid you back." Lu Wuhu felt a little awkward. He couldn't lower himself to rob it, but he didn't want to give up the bitter bamboo leaf he just got. "How about I get you a spot for the Black Ice Sect tournament?" "No, you don't need to compete. I will speak to the Infinity Sect leader and give that girl as your wife." Lu Wuhu patted his chest. Yi Mo wanted to laugh, but he pretended his heart was aching. "Since it's a forgery treasure, then I'll give it to you." "Thank you. Thank you, Pilking Yi, no brother Yi. We're brothers from now on," Lu Wuhu said happily as he took out a jade box about to place it in carefully. "Wait." Yi Mo stopped Lu Wuhu. Seeing that Lu Wuhu was a little worried, Yi Mo said, "Although bitter bamboo leaf is my best treasure, I'm willing to give it to Lu Qianbei." "No, just call me Brother Lu." "Who are we? Don't be so distant." Lu Wuhu quickly smiled. Yi Mo thought, "I didn't see you being so intimate right at the start," but he laughed and said, "In that case, Brother Lu." Lu Wuhu then put the bitter bamboo away and waved his hand. "Then we don't need to be so distant with each other. Brother Lu, I have 3 things I need your help for," Yi Mo said without hesitation. "Say it. As long as brother can help, I will do it for sure." Lu Wuhu waved his hand. "Okay. First, I want you to forge a magic artifact for me," Yi Mo said. "No worries." Second, if I have an opponent I can't beat, Brother Lu can help me 20 times. At 10 times is fine. That's fine. Lu Woohoo just wanted to answer, but he immediately looked at Yi Mo. Wait, I can't be your henchman. Oh, Yi Mo didn't say anything. Okay, I'll help you 3 times, and there are a few cultivation artifacts here. You can choose one. He took out a stack of cultivation artifacts. Yi Mo rejoiced and found a longsword there. He chose that longsword because it was the only top-grade cultivation artifact. Okay, what's the last thing? Lu Woohoo put them away and asked. Yi Mo smiled. I want to bring 10 people here from North Far State. Lu Woohoo quickly waved his hand. Impossible, even I can't do that. I can maybe do one, but 10 is definitely impossible. The cost of the teleportation formation from North Far State is too high. Don't even think about it. Change it to something else. Yi Mo also knew that was probably impossible, so he said, Then I'll copy you, Brother Lu. You owe me one too. I'll ask for it next time. The Black Ice Mountain was the location of the Black Ice Sect, and the Black Ice Peak was the main peak of Black Ice Mountain. Usually, no one could come here other than the peak leader and a few elders, but today the formation was open and wave after wave of people came. The Black Ice Mountain was the location of the Black Ice Sect, and the Black Ice Peak was the main peak of Black Ice Mountain. Usually, no one could come here other than the peak leader and a few elders, but today the formation was open and wave after wave of people came. When Yi Mo came to the Black Ice Sect, Lu Woohoo's name was of great use. Before Lu Woohoo even reported his name, the greeting sect member already recognized him and respectfully brought him into the guest hall. Yi Mo and them followed Lu Woohoo in and found that this hall was extremely huge. There was a large, spacious area in the middle. At this moment, the hall was filled with cultivators. There were rows of seats on the left and right. In the front row, all sat people with high status. Yi Mo didn't need to scan with spirit sense to know that all the people here were not at a lower cultivation level than him. There were many people whom Yi Mo knew. Some were 8-star or 9-star sect leaders and elders. There were a few solo cultivators who were also famous. Yi Mo had met them all at the Pill City. Seeing these people come, Yi Mo had a bad feeling. Even if the Infinity Sect was going to have a marriage alliance with Black Ice Sect, they didn't need to create such a scene. Lu Qianbei. A lot of cultivators called out greetings when Lu Woohoo came. Yi Mo and them were ignored as they were thought to be followers of Lu Woohoo. A few cultivators who knew Lu Woohoo never had followers looked at Yi Mo carefully and realized how wrong they were. At this moment, the ushers arranged Lu Woohoo to sit at the front row and placed Yi Mo and then behind Lu Woohoo. Lu Woohoo just wanted to introduce Yi Mo, but he didn't need to anymore. More cultivators got up and walked to Yi Mo, greeting him. City Lord Yi, Pill King Yi, Brother Yi. Many people who didn't know Yi Mo all started asking around. Soon, everyone knew that this young man was the honorary city Lord of Pill City and a level 7 Pill King. Knowing this, most sects came to greet Yi Mo, all except Lightning Cloud Sect and Infinity Sect. Haha, Brother Yi Mo, if I knew you would come, I would have come with you. Jiling's familiar voice made Yi Mo feel warm. Jiling was an honest person and a trustworthy friend. Yi Mo's respect for him far exceeded that for Lu Woohoo. The usher cultivator looked at Yi Mo in awkwardness and fright. Sorry, Pill King Yi, I'll arrange your seat for you again. That usher quickly brought Yi Mo to sit at the front row with Lu Woohoo. Those sitting in this row were either sect leaders or great masters. Yi Mo nodded but didn't sit down. He pointed at Luo Fei and said, "This is my friend, Sword Valley's new sect leader, Goddess Luo." Luo Fei was shocked at how many Qianbais and masters came to greet Emo. She just now realized how high Emo's status was. Silently, he had reached this level already. The usher just realized he ignored another important figure. Although Luo Fei looked weak, Level 7 Pilkingi introduced her, and she came with Lu Wuhu as well. Clearly, she wasn't simple. Mi Zhenxie from Sword Valley saw this and breathed easy. He didn't want the Sword Valley to lose face here. Seeing Yi Emo introducing Luo Fei to everyone, some people wanted to greet Luo Fei to get on Yemo's good side. But after they knew she was Sword Valley's sect leader, they all gave up on the idea. Less cultivators came to greet Yi Emo too. Sword Valley was annihilated by Infinity Sect. Everyone knew this. No one was going to offend the 9-star Sect Infinity, sect for a foundation, establishment state, cultivator. Luo Fei sat with Yi Emo and Lu Wuhu at the front row. Mi Jinxie, Gan Liang, and them sat behind them. All the elders who greeted Yi Emo sat back. But Ji Ling was still talking to Yi Emo. Although they had discussed for an entire day last time, he still wasn't done. "Brother Yi, you're really faster. You came out of solitary cultivation, and you're a hollow spirit state cultivator," Ji Ling said. Yi Emo smiled and just wanted to explain when he heard a laugh. "Welcome, sect leaders, elders, and Qianbei masters. Black Ice Sect is honored to have you all here." An extremely handsome middle-aged man walked in with a smile. There were 6 people behind him, but the weakest was Cauldron-filling state. "Sect leader Yen, you're too polite." "Sect leader Yen." People greeted him. Yi Emo knew this handsome middle-aged man was the sect leader of Black Ice Sect, Yen Guan. He was at least disaster transformation state power. Usually, the sect leader didn't manage sect business. It was all managed by vice sect leaders. Vice sect leaders were usually weaker cultivators who had no hopes of breaking through. Yen Guan then walked up to Lu Wuhu and saluted with his fists. "Wan Bei Yen Guan greets, Lu Qianbei." Lu Wuhu smiled. The Black Ice Sect set up such a scene, it couldn't just be for a marriage competition, right? "Qianbei, you're funny." Yen Guan laughed awkwardly, and then walked up to Yi Emo and saluted with his fists. "Pill City's Pill King, ye could come here, it's our great honor." Yi Emo smiled and stood up, saluting with his fists. "Sect leader Yen, you're too kind. I heard about the good news here, so I came with Brother Lu to bring our cheer. At the same time, there are some private matters I wish to ask Black Ice Sect for help." Yen Guan heard Yi Emo called Lu Wuhu brother and was dazed. Since when were they brothers? But he immediately said, "Thank you, Pilkingi, no matter what it is. Just say it. As long as we can help, we won't reject." After this, "Please stay here at our sect for a few days." Yi Emo wanted to bring Susu and Beiwei, so of course he wasn't going to reject. He quickly saluted with his fists and thanked. "The Black Ice Sect can definitely help with my business. By the way, I heard South Peace State, 10 Beauties, Luo Susu, and Tang Beiwei are both from your honorable sect?" Yen Guan was dazed. He didn't expect someone as renowned as Yi Emo to straight up ask about the South Peace State, 10 Beauties. But he reacted soon. He heard that Pil Kingi took Ning Qingxiue from the ethereal immortal pond at the tournament. Clearly, he loved beauty. Thinking about this, he smiled. "Yes, they are our 2 core sect members. I wonder how they are now." Yi Emo asked. Yen Guan was more bewildered. Even he wouldn't constantly care about a core sect member. But now that Yi Emo asked, he could only reply, "Great, they're great." "Haha, Brother Yen, long time no see." Another voice sounded outside the hall. Yen Guan heard it and immediately apologized to Yi Emo and greeted him. "This is Infinity sect leader, Yang Feiqing. The truth realization state cultivator behind him is He Ling." Mi Jinjie gritted his teeth and said to Yi Emo. But as soon as he said this, A few eyes glanced over. Yi Mo knew that Mi Jinja's power was too low. There were too many powerful beings here, and they heard his sound transmission. But Yi Mo didn't care. He nodded and didn't talk. Instead, he studied this Yang Feiqing guy. Many of Lightning Cloud's sex people greeted him too. Yang Feiqing was also disaster, transformation state level, and seemed of similar age to Yan Guan. But Yi Mo felt this guy was much older than Yan Guan. He seemed amicable, but those eagle eyes already exposed the sort of person he was. Yi Mo felt a surprised look glance at him. It was Wen Tsai. Yi Mo took his eyes back, but Yang Feiqing glanced his eyes over at Yi Mo. Although it was seemingly casual, Yi Mo felt it was extremely cold. So powerful. Luckily, he tricked Lu Wuhu here to his side, so Yi Mo wasn't scared of a fight. When everyone was seated, lush spirit fruit and wine was served. Yan Guan got up and saluted with his fists. Everyone here are among the biggest Qian Bais and masters in our South Peace State. I thank everyone for being able to come. Other than the marriage of infinity sex, Wen Tsai, there's something else very important. Yan Guan said slowly. Many might have guessed that not far into the future, there will be some changes that will shake South Peace State and even the entire Luoyu continent. Although we don't know what it is yet, we've set up the teleportation formation connecting the two states. Yan Guan said slowly. Many might have guessed that not far into the future, there will be some changes that will shake South Peace State and even the entire Luoyu continent. Although we don't know what it is yet, we've set up the teleportation formation connecting the two states. Then, Yan Guan looked at Yang Feiqing. Thank you, Infinity Sex sect leader, for increasing the relationship between us and being willing to marry Wen Tsai goddess into our sect. Using this opportunity, I would like to announce something to everyone. In order to prevent something really happening to the South Peace State cultivation world, Sect Leader Yang and I propose to create a South Peace State sect alliance. Many people started discussing. They realized what this was. Almost all the 7-star and above sects were invited. Although some sects' high-level members weren't here, they'd sent representatives. The 9-star sects were fine, but some small sects began to worry. If they didn't join this alliance, would they be suppressed by 9-star sects just like Sword Valley? Sword Valley was an ancient sect and a 7-star sect, but Infinity Sect just annihilated on a whim. I agree with Sect Leader Yen and Sect Leader Yang's idea. After we build the South Alliance, it would gather the strength of us South Peace State cultivators and weld the sects together in case of sudden incidents. This would benefit all South Peace State sects. A lightning cloud sect old man got up and said. Yi Mo looked at this old man. He was disaster transformation state peak stage and could reach truth realization state at any time. We from Eternity Sea sect also agree. We from Earth Demon sect also agree. Some 7-star and 8-star sect didn't know what to do anymore upon seeing that some sects began supporting this. Who knew if they would be controlled after joining this alliance? No sect wanted to be ruled by someone else, especially in the cultivation realm that valued freedom. But 3 9-star sects had already agreed. Even if some sects didn't agree, no one dared to disobey. Yi Mo looked at Earth Demon sect strangely. Wasn't that sect only 6-star? How were they here too? The lowest standard here was to be a 7-star sect. Yi Mo had a bad feeling. He also killed Wu Yu from Eternity Sea sect, but only Yi Pandai knew about it. She wouldn't betray him. Seeing that more sects were going to support this, Yi Mo got up and smiled. Haha, today is really a good day. This was a serious topic, but Yi Mo smiling ruined that serious atmosphere. If someone else did this, even if the 9-star sects didn't reproach them, their 7 and 8-star sects would come say something. But it was Yi Mo, and no one dared to do this. After all, his other identity was Pill City's honorary vice city lord. Pill City was the only 10-star power. No one dared to touch that. Haha, Pill Kingy is right. Today is indeed a good day. Yan Guan smiled. Yang Feiqing and Lightning Cloud sect leader Wang Chuanha's face were green with anger. But even they didn't dare to openly attack Yemo, now that they hadn't brought the conflict to the surface. Yemo couldn't use Pill City to fight them. But if they brought things to the surface, who knows what the two Pill City lords would do. The Pill City's power wasn't just a few truth realization state elders and the two city lord that they showed. Their real power was invisible. Otherwise, they wouldn't be renowned as the only 10-star city. Yi Emo smiled and saluted with his fists to Yan Guan. Today's a great day because it's the day goddess when chooses a husband. This is the good news, the proper business. After the proper business is over, the rest of Qian Bais here can discuss about other big things. Otherwise, someone like me who only likes small business and paparazzi will fall asleep listening to such big news. It's really unbearable. I've long admired Goddess Wen's big name, so I came to see Goddess Wen today. Sect leader Yen, there are quite some people like me. Shouldn't you finish the proper business first? If someone else said something as absurd as this, Yan Guan would have dragged him out already, but he could only smile at this Pill City honor vice city lord. Pill Kingy is right. Sect leader Yang and sect leader Wang, what do you think? Yang Feiqing's eyes were ice cold. In his eyes, Yemo was a dead man. Even if he couldn't kill him here, since he dared to come to Black Ice Mountain, then don't blame him for attacking. He just didn't expect Yemo to suddenly appear here and foil his plan. Some 7- and 8-star sect core sect members were discussing how bold this Pill Kingy was, overtly rebuking the decision of 3 9-star sect leaders, and no one dared to reject. Those who didn't want to join the South Alliance were all grateful to Yemo. Yemo did something they didn't dare to do. Yang Feiqing said calmly, "Does Pill Kingy not think something that concerns our entire South Peace State cultivation world is not a big matter? Or does Pill Kingy not care about the safety of our South Peace State cultivation world?" Yi Emo clapped twice and laughed. "Old brother well said. I'm an idiot. The safety of South Peace State have powerful beings like you to take care of it. But you're right, I really don't care. Your South Alliance, I don't want to join, and nor do I want to waste time here. So, Goddess Wen's business is big business to me. You." Yang Feiqing's face was green, but he didn't dare to do anything to Yemo. "I agree to City, Lord Ye's words. As for the South Alliance, those sects willing to join can discuss with each other." "We from Abstruse Sound sect don't wish to join." A middle-aged woman saluted with her fists and said, "I agree with Abstruse Sound sect's elder Fu regarding the South Alliance. I think even if there's to be an alliance, it needs to be discussed with the Pill City Lord. Pill City is a 10-star sect, yet they don't even know about this. Clearly, this thing isn't planned well. Our Clear Dream Mosque won't participate for now," an old nun from Clear Dream Mosque said. "We from God Wind Valley agree with City, Lord Yi." Another representative got up. "We from Heaven Star sect agree with City, Lord Yi." Ethereal Immortal Pond. Seeing more and more people agree with Yemo, the Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect leaders' faces looked worse and worse. Even Yan Guan felt things weren't right. He didn't know about Infinity Sect and Yemo, so he accepted when Infinity Sect came to show goodwill. Now it seemed that there was great conflict between Infinity Sect and City, Lord Yi. If that was the case, he really needed to reconsider. From what the audience showed, City Lord Yi had great respect and the support of many 9-star sections. Thinking about how Yemo was also brothers with Lu Wuhu, Yan Guan felt things were going the wrong direction. "Haha, okay. I agree to City Lord Ye's proposal. We'll discuss the alliance later." All the guests are here today for our black ice sex marriage. How can we delay that? It's my fault, Yen Guan immediately said. Yang Feiqing also immediately got up and smiled. City Lord Yi is right. Today is the day of marriage after all. It's the bliss of Wen Sai and our sect that she's marrying into Black Ice sect. So today I'm going to add bliss on top of bliss. I need to request sect leader for something else. Yen Guan breathed easy seeing that Yang Feiqing put the alliance matter aside. I heard that Black Ice Sect's Black Cloud Peak Core disciple Luo Susu is both talented and beautiful. Ranked as #1 in South Peace State 10 Beauties with Tsai. Our Infinity Sect's core disciple Dong Tinya is also a talented genius. So we brought one low-grade spirit artifact and a truth spirit pill as a wedding gift, hoping to form this marriage. People immediately broke into discussion. They were astounded that the Infinity Sect was willing to pay so much. Yi Emo sneered. This old man really dared to do such a thing. Luckily he came today. Yi Emo sneered. This old man really dared to do such a thing. Luckily he came today. Yen Guan was also dazed. He didn't expect Infinity Sect's Yang Feiqing to offer such good terms. The truth realization pill was something very rare. At least Black Ice Sect didn't have it. Even other 9-star sects wouldn't have too many, at most 1 or 2. Most of the truth realization state cultivators were ancient beings except for an extremely few new ones. The truth realization pill was the only pill that could give disaster transformation state cultivators an extra 20% chance of reaching truth realization state. This was something that even spirit stones couldn't buy. Even 9-star sects wouldn't easily use truth realization pills, as this was the future of the sect. Yet the Infinity Sect took out a truth realization pill and another low-grade spirit range. He was disaster transformation state peak stage, and he needed the truth realization pill the most. Most of the disaster transformation state cultivators on Luo Yu continent relied on truth realization pills to reach truth realization state. Only a few rare ones could use other means to reach truth realization state. Most stayed in disaster transformation state forever. Yen Guan's hands were shaky. He wanted to say something, but Yi Emo knew things weren't good. So he quickly stood up and said coldly to Yang Feiqing, "Sorry then, sect leader Yang. Luo Susu is my wife. Tang Bei Wei is my sister. I came to pick them up today. You can take back your shitty schemes." Humph. Yang Feiqing sneered but ignored Yi Emo and looked at Yen Guan. Clearly, he meant that Yi Emo was intentionally trying to start problems with him. This was not only being disrespectful to Infinity Sect, but also Black Ice Sect. Yi Emo knew that this wasn't the best time to bring this up, but he had to. The bastard Yang Feiqing was too sinister. How dare he scheme for Susu? Yi Emo cursed that his power was so low. If he was truth realization state, he would have already fought Yang Feiqing. He had no reason to tolerate schemes for Susu, but he had to. Indeed, Yuan Guan's face sunk down. He had been really polite with Yi Emo, but now Yi Emo's actions clearly made it seem that he didn't take Black Ice Sect seriously and didn't care about Luo Susu's reputation. He looked at Yi Emo coldly and said, "City Lordy, although you're the Vice City Lord of Pill City, we, Black Ice Sect, are a 9-star sect too. Not anyone can do what they like. Aren't your words over the top?" Even though Yen Guan was furious, he had to control his words. "Insolent brat, how dare you insult my disciple? Is a mere level 7 Pill King very significant? I'm going to slice you." The old female cultivator behind Yen Guan rose up furiously, but was stopped by another Black Ice Sect cauldron-filling state cultivator. No matter what, clearly it wasn't good to attack Yi Emo here. Yi Emo looked at that old woman. She was cauldron-filling state. He didn't expect this old woman to be Susu's master. He heard Qingxue say that Susu's master is very nice to Susu, so he wasn't angry. Even some other sect leaders and cultivators felt Yi Emo was crossing the line. Everyone knew that Yi Emo had Ning Qingxue. His previous words with Infinity sect leader clearly meant that there was conflict between them. Now that Infinity sect took out a marriage gift to propose to Luo Susu, he immediately came out and said Susu was his wife. How could there be such a coincidence in the world? But because Yi Emo helped them a lot by saying what they didn't dare to say, no one said anything. But one elder from Lightning Cloud sect sneered. The Pill City Honorary City Lord is indeed arrogant, marrying whomever he wants. Who dares to disobey him? How could Yi Emo not tell that this elder was trying to start trouble? However, he ignored him. He walked to Yan Guan and bowed before saying politely, Sect Leader Yan, this must be Susu's master. You're Yemo's Qianbei as well. I wasn't invited to Black Ice sect this time, and I believe you guys know that. But Wan Bei indeed came to pick up my wife Susu and my sister Beiwei. If you don't believe me, you can bring them here to ask them. Yan Guan and the female cultivator were dazed. They could tell Yi Emo was being genuine, but this was too coincidental. Other sect cultivators also looked at Yi Emo in confusion. Even they weren't sure if Yi Emo was telling the truth. Many people felt Yi Emo wasn't lying, as this was too easy to prove. They only had to ask Luo Susu or Tang Beiwei. Wen Sai clenched her fists and stared at Yi Emo. She didn't doubt at all that Susu was Yi Mo's wife. Wen Sai thought of her oath. No matter who Luo Susu's husband was, she would rob him from her and then kick him back. In reality, Luo Susu's husband was indeed a dragon amongst men. He was so young and already a level 7 Pill King. She couldn't even see his power level. Yi Emo, do you think that you can do whatever you want as an honorary city, Lord of Pill City? How can there be such a coincidence in the world? I, Healing, will kill you here today, so what? A gray-robed old man formed a huge cultivation essence hand and wanted to kill Yi Emo on the spot. No one expected Healing really dared to do this. Yan Guan cursed. Black Ice Sect only had one truth realization state, Grand Elder. But that elder wasn't here. There was no way to stop it. Many cultivators greeted Yi Emo before, but no one was willing to help Yi Emo stop this. Ji Ling quickly got up and said, He Qianbei, wait. But He Ling didn't seem to hear it and reached the cultivation essence, huge hand over. A hollow spirit state cultivator really couldn't do anything against a truth realization state cultivator. Yi Emo smiled and said, Old Lu, someone really doesn't take me seriously and dares to attack. Chop off his claw and let's serve it for our first wine today. Everyone heard this and was dazed. What did Yi Emo mean? Only Lu Wuhu understood what Yi Emo meant. First wine meant his first time attacking for him. Lu Wuhu didn't even care about 9-star sect. He cared about when Yi Emo asked him to attack the 3 times. To him, the earlier the better. He was all too happy that Yi Emo asked for his help. Without hesitation, he also reached out a giant hand of cultivation essence. Lu Wuhu had been in truth realization state for countless years and was the pinnacle being. He Ling was only a truth realization state, primary stage cultivator. He was a far cry from Lu Wuhu. Thud, He Ling's cultivation essence, giant hand, was instantly crippled. At the same time, he spat blood. In just one move, he was injured. One could see how powerful Lu Wuhu was. Luckily, Lu Wuhu knew that he was a 9-star sect Grand Elder and didn't really cut his hand off. Lu Qianbei, what do you mean by this? Yang Feiqing's face changed. If Lu Wuhu helped Yi Emo, they wouldn't be able to kill Yi Emo even after he left Black Ice Sect, much less now. Lu Wuhu said lazily, Why do I need to tell you? How dare you attack my brother in front of me? Are you asking to die? This is a warning. The next time won't be so simple. I won't joke with you guys. Everyone instantly froze. Yemo called Lu Wuhu Old Lu, and with one word, Lu Wuhu attacked for him. Even Yu Chi Chao had to call Lu Wuhu Qianbei. With such powerful support, who dared to attack Yemo? Yan Guan sweated cold. If Fan Yizhu really attacked Yemo, then they would have been finished. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.